I made Minecraft way more realistic, and my goal was to survive 1 full year, which in this mod pack was about 100 days. To do so, I would need to get through all 4 seasons, regulate my body temperature to avoid overheating or freezing, avoid being taken out by natural disasters like tornadoes or meteor showers, fight off the wild animals that roam the wilderness, and there was something else lurking in the world too that I didn't even know about, but we'll talk about that one later. For now, it all starts in the spring on day 1. I spawned deep in the forest surrounded by nature. Now, part of this being more realistic meant that I could not get wood by punching down a tree. Instead, I had to gather rocks and sticks from the ground, then smash the rocks into something hard to get flint shards. I could then make a knife and gather plant fibers from the grass. Using those, I made plant string, and then by tying a rock to a stick, I could make a crude hatchet. Finally, I was able to chop down a tree for logs, but I couldn't just craft them into planks. To do that, I had to use all the flint shards and string and stuff to craft a saw blade, a saw handle, and then tie them together for a saw. And now I could cut the logs into planks. I made a crafting table, but just like getting wood, making tools wasn't so simple. I couldn't just make them in the normal Minecraft way. Instead, I had to craft a pattern and make a tinker station, and then after getting some more wood, I also made a part builder. Using these, I was able to get all kinds of different tool parts made of all sorts of different materials. Like here, I made a wooden pickaxe head, binding, and tool handle, and then I combined them all to make a wooden pickaxe. And right when I did that is when I realized that it was already nighttime. Just getting a wooden pickaxe took the entire first day, pretty much. Fortunately, it was spring, so night wasn't too cold, and because it was more of a realistic mod pack, there were no zombies or skeletons or other monsters that spawned at night on the surface. However, there were a few animals that become very aggressive at night, so I did have to tread carefully. I went ahead and gathered stone, then upgraded my pickaxe and made a stone axe, saw, and knife. I now had the tools necessary for survival, but not everything else. Food, water, shelter, the literal basics I still didn't have yet. I wanted to tackle water first, so I made a furnace and smelted some glass for bottles. I filled them with water from the nearby pond, and as the sun rose on day 2, I boiled the water to purify it. So now that that was covered, my next goal was food. I went and used my axe to kill a bunch of fish in the pond. By crafting a fillet knife, I was able to fillet the fish, except for minnows. I guess they're too small to be real food or something. Regardless, I was able to get 1 cooked fish fillet, which was not the greatest food by any means, but it was better than nothing. But not to worry, I came across a few pigs and was able to get some pork chops, which was a much better food. And now my next goal was shelter. A shelter would let me begin farming crops for food and would also be necessary for surviving any extreme weather, so I wanted to find somewhere for one quickly. I checked the surrounding forest area and I found some free venison from a fight between wild animals or something, which was awesome. Then, late into night 2, I found the perfect spot. A huge pond that'd be a great food source on its own, and the area was pretty flat. I started building a basic foundation, and by the morning of day 3, I had all my tool stations placed down. I would need to expand, of course, but before doing that, I wanted to explore the surrounding area for sheep. Like I said before, some animals become very aggressive at night, and if I was going to spend a ton of time building, I would want some way to sleep. Before setting out, I wanted to make a weapon. Different materials had different effects when added to tools, and stone was not great for a sword. It would do less damage the lower the durability gets, so I wanted to find something else. Obviously, I did not have access to a ton of different materials right now, but I did have a few options. I was able to use my knife to get flint shards from rocks, then I crafted them into flint. Using that, I made a flint blade, which does more damage as the weapon loses durability, and it was just naturally stronger than stone. I combined it with 2 wooden tool handles, and I crafted a flint sword. I used it to start gathering fish from the pond, because I was basically already out of food when I remembered a mechanic. Oh, I'm freezing! Oh, right! Hold on, these are big fish. I need these first, though. Wait. Oh, I forgot! If I get wet, I start freezing! Because, like, your temperature goes down. I mean, that makes sense. That's realistic, right? Okay. I need to turn my furnace on so I don't die. Wow, that was scary. I was not ready to deal with temperature at all. I forgot that was even a mechanic. Yeah, you can see a little wetness meter above my temperature gauge. You can see it right there. Whoa. Yeah, so fishing was not quite as safe for getting food as I thought. Not that bad, though. I filleted the fish and started cooking them, and then I gathered a bunch of wood while I waited. Once the fish was done, I made charcoal for torches when I remembered that I crafted unlit torches in this mod pack. Lighting them wasn't too big of a deal. I was able to just do it on the furnace or any other fire source, but eventually these torches would go out. And I only made 1 per charcoal instead of the usual 4. It was honestly pretty rough, but no time to really worry about that. I had to get a bed going ASAP. I made a tool called a kama, or however you pronounce it. This could be used to shear animals and also farm, but unfortunately the only crops that I had right now were wheat seeds, which don't grow in the spring. However, those did not stay as my only crop for very long. Onion! Spring! Oh, yippee! Yes, bro. Yes. Oh, we're so back. Okay, onions. And tea! Oh, wow! How did I get that? Yo! Is this tea? No. Wow. Yeah, I instantly set up the onions and tea to grow, and then I learned that alliums could be used to make healing herbs, and I made a few of those because any form of healing could be a lifesaver. And then I set out to find wool for a bed. While doing so, I scavenged literally everything that I could find to help me survive. A lot of bones. On day 4, I got some mushrooms and grape seeds and strawberries a bit later. It was great stuff. Then I found carrots, which was awesome, but I accidentally placed my torch when I was trying to harvest them, so now I don't have one of those, I guess. Okay, now I was just not finding sheep, but I did realize that there were cobwebs under a bunch of the trees here. And for now, that was a much easier way to get wool for a bed. I just started cutting up cobwebs for string. Yeah. And I can make wool out of you. Okay, actually 12 string. I'm just gonna do that. That's a rattlesnake. And it's raining. Oh, good. Finally get my string, and here we are. Don't be a tornado. Please don't be a tornado. Just anything but that, I think, would be fine. Am I gonna get wet? I'm gonna get wet in the rain. Ah, no. I'm in a good forest, though. This forest is nice, and it's like very covered. It's like a roofed forest, kinda. I can just hang out down here and seek shelter from the storm. I'm okay, I think. The weather in this mod pack is really cool. It's like realistic, obviously. And like this storm will move. So the storm might be over there by those trees, and it wouldn't be over here anymore. But if I went over there, there would still be a storm. It's like really cool. I guess I could run away from the storm too, but it looks like it's kind of everywhere. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's all these clouds. No, yeah, it's already clearing up. Look, it's already clearing up. You can see. Oh, yeah, but it's over there now. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bison. I'm sorry. I don't want to walk into your herd. There's a rattlesnake. Right. Don't walk into that. Yeah, I think I'm good. Yeah. Oh, it is spinning. I think some storms just do that because there's no tornado. Scary. Okay, wow. That was cool. Okay. I'm glad I had shelter. That would have been really bad otherwise. I would have gotten cold and lost all my hunger. Now that the storm had passed, I continued gathering cobwebs into that night until I had 12 string. I crafted my 3 wool, and instead of a bed, I opted to make a sleeping bag, which would just be a lot easier to carry around and sleep wherever. Immediately, I slept to day 5. This helped me deal with the threat of night. Not that day was that much safer, but it felt safer, you know? Now the issue at hand was finding a way back to my base. This mod pack disables coordinates in F3. I'm supposed to use a compass for that, but obviously I don't have one of those, so I had to just remember where I came from. Luckily, I actually did remember, so it wasn't too hard to get back. I even got some beetroots on the way, which is another crop for the collection. Back home, I made a new chest and stored those crops, and now I wanted to work on my basic shelter. I went and cut down a bunch of pine trees, and on day 6, I started building. For it, I made a mattock, a new tool to help me mine dirt. For some reason, I couldn't make a shovel, so this was the only option. I gathered some dirt for some terraforming I had to do, and then I kept working on my build. I expanded the platform, built up the walls, and I fenced in my front porch. Day 7, I went and gathered even more wood and some stone and replaced the floor of my house with cobblestone, both for the block variety and because stone is a sturdier material. I wasn't actually sure if it worked that way, but the idea in my head was that if a tornado came through one day and I had a storm bunker under my base, the floor of my base is the ceiling of the bunker, so if it was stone, it would keep me safer, which made sense to me. Day 8, I roofed off my house in a pretty boring way, but it's fine. And then I fenced in a huge area off to the side for my farm. Farming crops would be crucial because fish fillet were not great. However, until the farm was up and running, I killed more fish. That night, I went ahead and planted a bunch of onions, strawberries, and carrots because they were all that I had that could grow in the spring. Day 9, I added some windows to my shelter, and it was complete. A basic survival house, nothing too fancy, but it would work. I made some more bottles so I can carry more water with me, and now my next goal was to get ore. Iron, copper, gold, anything would do really, I just needed to get better tools. I headed out to find some when yet another storm rolled in, because it was really rainy this time of year, I guess. I took shelter under a tree and just waited for the storm to pass, and luckily it was only a thunderstorm and not something much worse like a tornado. I wasn't out and about for too long before I came across some copper ore exposed on the surface. I mined it and I was able to get up to 16 raw copper. And then I walked directly into a poisonous plant and decided to just head home for now. Day 10, I was back and I wanted to process the copper ore that I just got. I couldn't just do it in the furnace like normal. Technically I could, but I wasn't supposed to be able to, so I wasn't going to do it that way. Instead, I would need to use something called a melter. For it, I would need seared bricks, and for those, I would need to get gravel, sand, and clay. Luckily, right near my base, there were these big clay patches, so that was easy to gather. After getting a ton of that, I repaired my mattock and got the gravel and sand. I crafted it into grout, and then I put that in the furnace to get these seared bricks. Using them, I was able to make a melter and a heater. Because I wasn't exactly sure how these worked, I decided to do this outside so it wouldn't burn down my mostly wooden base. It was actually pretty simple though. I put the heater down with the melter on top and then I filled it with a bit of furnace fuel. And this would let me melt down the raw copper into molten copper. However, I did not know how to get it out and use it for tools. I used what Tinker's Construct knowledge I had from years of playing modded Minecraft to guess though, and I made a faucet and a casting table. I saw there were these sand casts, and by putting that on the casting table and then a tool part on top of that, I was able to shape the cast into the tool part that I wanted to make. And using the faucet, I could pour the molten copper in and boom, copper tool parts. The copper pickaxe head made the tool more effective deeper underground and less effective higher up, which wasn't great, but it did let me mine higher tier ores, so it was a vital upgrade. I was thinking of what to make next when a wild boar got a little too close for comfort. I'm gonna kill this thing. That was a really bad idea. Oh, that was a really bad idea. Heal my chest. It's almost broken. Wow. That was good. That was smart. Okay, not doing that again. Nice. And now I'm hot. It's hot. Oh, now it's not any. It's because I'm near the furnace. I see. At least I survived, but dying to a boar would have been embarrassing, and it kind of made me want to get armor going. Armor, just like tools, was a little weird, and I wasn't even able to make it until I had the melter. I made a stone chest plating, which can't actually be used for armor, but it could be used for the cast. I poured in some molten copper, and I got the copper chest plating. This part would determine the armor value. I repeated this process for leg and helmet platings, which used the rest of my copper, and now I would need mail, the other half of armor. To make the sand cast for that, I would need to make a leather one. I used a smoker to turn this buckskin that I got forever ago into leather, and then I made a piece of mail. This part didn't add any armor value or durability or anything. All it did was add the effect of the material that I used, at least to my understanding. The most useful material that I had access to was seared stone, which would give me a little bit of fire protection. I melted seared bricks down, turned them into mail, and a boot plating, because I realized that I could actually do that. And on day 13, I combined all the platings and mails to create a full set of armor. It was not the greatest protection ever, not even close actually, but it was way better than nothing. And because I had the materials, I went ahead and upgraded my main tools into seared stone as well, so they'd be a little bit faster. After harvesting my farm and looking at the foods that I can make, I came to the conclusion that I just did not have the ingredients needed to make any kind of good food. So on day 14, I decided to venture out. I wanted to make better foods, and for them I would need more crops. Potatoes, rice, tomatoes, a lot of things would work. And I also needed iron to make a cooking pot. Iron, or any other kind of metal besides copper really, would also be good for upgrading my tools. In proper spring fashion, I once again had to run through a thunderstorm, classic. And to make matters worse, I wasn't looking where I was going. That's a bear! I made a mistake. I'm faster than you. I speedrun, you know. I do. Bozo. Oh no, he's so slow and sad. Wow, I do that. Okay. Oh. After escaping the bear, I made my way up this large hill, and I was just getting completely soaked by the rain. I took shelter in a cave, which caves are not completely safe in this mod pack. There were still dangerous creatures down there. But in the little upper part that I was in, I got 2 iron and coal, so it was worth a little bit of risk. By then, the storm had passed, so I kept going. I found some cotton seeds, and cotton can be used to make string and paper, and you never really know when you're gonna need those, so this was kinda good to get. I also found more beetroots and some wild wheat, so maybe I can make some food with those later. And as the sun went down, I got a bit more copper, and then slept in a cave. Day 15, I got more copper on the side of a small mountain, and then further up, I got 6 more iron. And I found pumpkins, which I grabbed all of, yet another crop added to the selection. I made my way further up the mountain, which was a high-risk, high-reward strategy. Mountains, of course, are the best place to find iron, by far, but they were also very cold. Up here, I did find some new crops, though, a plant that can make tea and some white grapes. I tried to progress further up when I reached a point that was just way too cold for me to survive. Until I get some warm clothes or something, I would not be able to use mountains for easy iron, which I guess I should have expected. I managed to find 1 more iron at the end of that day, bringing me to a grand total of 9. Day 16, though, I found a much smaller, safer mountain, which actually ended up being a stony shore, just a really tall one. It had exactly what I needed, though, a ton of copper and a ton of iron. Seriously, it was just vein after vein of iron, and I found a new ore called zinc. After mining all the iron that I could on the coast, I ended up with 41 total. Incredible luck with the stony shore, honestly. That was a game changer. I also found some kelp in a little water hole there, which not sure when I'm gonna need that, but it could be useful. The next morning, I started heading home. I got more kelp, 1 more iron, and a bit later I got sugarcane. Sugar was great. Much like other crops, it can be used to make different kinds of foods, but it could also be used to make better drinks, and I definitely wanted to get better drinks as soon as I could. And then day 18, I had a massive food development. I was originally looking for cabbage, but I kinda gave up and I was just gonna go home. But right when I did that, I came across wild potatoes and lettuce at the same time. Genuinely amazing luck. Both of these were new crops and they grew during the spring. Not that there was that much spring left, but they would at least grow for now. I spent that night getting my water and fish fillets up just to have until I figured out a new food source. And on day 19, it was time to work on that food source. Though before doing that, I went to get sand because I would need it for casts when I learned that my mattock can actually insta-mine sand because of the seared stone. The seared stone material made it so I could mine things that could be smelted faster. And yeah, it definitely worked. Okay, now I made a casting basin. This allowed me to pour an entire block of molten metal into it so I could process 9 ingots at a time. Now that I had some iron, I made a wooden shovel, and yeah, I know vanilla tools are not supposed to be made this way, but there were sometimes recipes that needed them, and there wasn't really a choice here. Anyways, I made a bucket too, and I filled it with water, and I used it to make a cooking pot. I set it up, but it would need a campfire to actually use it, so I went to make one when yet another wonderful thunderstorm rolls in. Gotta love spring weather, am I right? I went ahead and harvested my farm, but because it was raining, I literally would not be able to use the campfire, so I had to wait for it to pass. Once it did, I made the campfire and I set it up, which is when things started to become a little less realistic. Okay, a cooking pot, okay. And now I can cook stuff. Oh man, oh man. No! What is that? No! That's not very realistic. Bro, I spent so long on this mod Ozark Apparition, no. I spent so long on this mod pack, how did you get in? Who are you? Oh, you're really aggressive. I'm gonna kill you. Go away, go away, go away. Wow, you're tanky, go away. Probably do 1,000,000 damage, get away. I got it. Howler head. Okay, I'm gonna not stay awake at night for right now. Yeah, so when I made this mod pack and set up all the mob spawns and stuff, it would seem that a few mobs made it through that aren't exactly realistic. Luckily, this happened at my base where it could be a little bit safer, but if this happened again out in the middle of the forest or something, it could be really bad. This made me a little more motivated to work on my self-defense, but for now I had to handle food. On a nice, foggy day 20, I looked through the foods that I could make. Many of the best options would need rice, which I didn't have, however I did find one thing that I could make. Cabbage rolls. All it needed was 1 fish and 1 lettuce. I gathered a bunch of fish from my pond, and by then my campfire had went out, so I had to add more fuel to it, but once I did, I was able to start making the cabbage rolls. I then realized that cooking like this was incredibly hot, and it was kinda dangerous to even be too close. So I just very carefully cooked all 25 cabbage rolls that I could make right now. I also made some pumpkin juice using some pumpkins and sugar, which was a much more hydrating drink. Next, I wanted to make a lantern. I made more iron, then I crafted an unlit lantern, and then I made an oil can, which I filled with coal. Using this, I could fuel the lantern and then light it with a flint and steel, and now I had a longer lasting light source. I was supposed to be able to hang it on my belt, which didn't work for some reason, which was kind of unfortunate. I decided to just hang it in my base so it would be lit up at night. I spent the rest of that night looking at tool and weapon materials that I could maybe make, and by day 21, I had a plan. I would need to make something called an alloyer, and to get that, I would need magma. There were these little hot spring ponds around that had things like amethyst and magma blocks, so I just grabbed a few of those from one near me. Then I melted down the magma blocks and I poured them over some flint and I got scorched bricks. Once I had enough, I just drained my melter, and now I needed quartz. However, I really did not want to go to the nether. It didn't really fit the realistic vibe, and also it would just be really dangerous. But there was one other way to get quartz. I made a sifter, and now I would need granite. My pickaxe was almost broken though, so I took the opportunity to make an iron pick head and upgrade it. Then on day 22, I set out to look for some granite. And while looking, I dipped into caves here and there to get iron and zinc. Caves though were not the safest thing ever. They have their own threatening creatures, like spiders for example. Not that scary by any means, but a few hits from one could break my leg or something and slow me down for the rest of the day, so I kinda wanted to avoid caves until I got better armor. However, caves were full of zinc, which I would need for better tools and weapons and armor and stuff, so I did greed a little bit and get more of that. I only had to kill like 2 spiders though, so it wasn't even that big of a deal. I kept dipping into caves for the rest of the day, and there were just tons of ores in these things, especially in the ones higher up on some of the mountains. However, I literally did not have the durability to mine all that I was seeing. If I mined all this iron, I wouldn't be able to get the granite whenever I found it. I definitely wanted to work on a more durable pickaxe whenever I got back home. Day 23, I was on my way out of one of the caves I was in when I spotted another howler. And then another as I was running for the exit. It tried to chase me out, but fortunately it can't climb too well. But yeah, if those tanky things were in caves, I would definitely want better gear before staying in them for too long. At the top of that mountain, I got an incredible view of the world, by the way. Just look at this. I had never used the Distant Horizons mod before this video, and believe me, it was very intensive on my PC, but man, did it look amazing. Back to the matter at hand though, I kept looking for granite. I did notice that it was starting to get very warm because it was nearing the end of spring and the start of summer. So heat was a new issue that I was gonna have to deal with. Not before one final spring thunderstorm, of course. I noticed the clouds were spinning a little bit faster than usual this time, and I was a little bit concerned, so I took shelter in a cave, and man am I glad that I did. Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm taking the cave, actually. Oh, good. That's what I wanted. I logged out in this cave and then came back. I got lunch. But okay, that's huge. That's gargantuan. That's picking up the blocks. That is a gargantuan tornado. Oh, good. Is it coming towards me? It's coming towards me. Okay. Block in. The bison! The skunk! No! Oh no, am I safe? No, that's the surface right there. Oh no. This is not good. One final spring storm for the road, am I right? Oh jeez. It's right above me. Thank God I'm not near my house, dude. Oh, I would have been so mad. Oh my God. Well, there's the first tornado of the world. I can't believe, wow. I got so lucky that I went so far away for granite of all things. Actually, granite. Oh, I'm being pulled. I'm being pulled. Okay, I'm staying. Okay, my bad. My mistake. I shouldn't have tried to look. I wanted to look at it, but I started getting pulled in. Oh, heck no. I'm not going back out there until the rain stops. Look at this. This is the path it went. It went straight into my cave. Rainbow. Oh, that's beautiful. If we ignore the reasons that it's not. There's a sign that things went really poorly 5 seconds ago. That rainbow's beautiful, but it's a sign that a terrible tornado just went by. Look at this rain. I mean, it's still going by, I guess. It's still there. It's over there. Look, you can see it kind of. Am I free? Am I safe? Wow, this is crazy. It looks so beautiful over there with the rainbow, and then over here, it's just death itself. This mountain is getting wrecked. The rainbow's gone, probably because the sun is going down. I think that's how rainbows work. I don't really know. I think I'm in a safe spot now, but the tornado is still. I kind of want to go up there and see it. Is that stupid? You know what? You only live once. I'm going for it. Look at that. Look at the tornado. It's going towards the ice mountains. I think it was a lot thicker and scarier over here. I think it's kind of calming down. Look at this. It went straight. It touched down like right there, wherever that tree was. Went straight from my cave over the mountain and off it goes. This could have been my house. If I was at home, it would have spawned on my house, right? Is that how the weather works, or is it just like per area? I don't really know. The first tornado of the 100 days finally happened, and luckily went by without incident. Though I did get trapped by another one of these howlers, go figure. It was actually really bad. I had no water left, and I was trapped by something I had no chance of beating in a head-on fight. After making a little sky base, I slept to day 24, hoping it would despawn during the day or something. I ended up having to build all the way up with the sand that I had, and eventually it despawned. Not the bravest way to deal with it, but if it works, it works. It did nearly dehydrate me. I had to run down the mountain to find a stream of dirty water to drink. And because of that situation, I grabbed some water in a bucket so I'd have something for emergencies later. Though for now, I managed to find some grapes, which were a source of actual clean water, which was way better. I kept traveling and looking for granite, and seriously, I was not expecting it to take this long. I didn't think granite was so rare. In my exploration though, I did find a jungle. This was a kind of biome that I hadn't found yet, meaning it was home to unique crops and resources. And also very unique creatures, apparently. But yeah, I found a bamboo, which was a unique tool material, and it was actually pretty good. And I broke my sword harvesting it like a genius. Hopefully I wouldn't need that later. That was actually all I really got from the jungle, just that and some grapes. Jungles were supposed to have rice, but this one didn't, I guess. As the sun rose on day 25, the world refreshed. What this meant is that spring was officially over and summer had begun. This was good for a few reasons. For example, I can grow sugarcane and other different plants. However, it also meant the weather was much hotter and only going to get worse as I get closer to the middle of summer. It's a lot easier to warm up than it is to cool down, so I would definitely need to find some solution to the heat before it gets deadly. And it was already starting to be that way. I could not progress into the savanna biome because it was way too hot for me to survive. But unfortunately, that is where I saw granite. Luckily though, I grabbed that bucket of water earlier. I ran in and put myself in a little pool of water to keep me from overheating, and then I mined until I had a stack of granite. This would let me get the alloy machine that I would need to make significantly better weapons and tools, so I started heading back home. Along the way, I started killing a few turkeys. I hadn't hunted much until this point because most animals travel in packs and would fight back if I attacked even one of them. Turkeys though were weak and easy to kill and gave like 5 feathers per turkey. That was just incredible, because if I can get a crossbow and arrows, I can start hunting some larger animals like deer. And speaking of larger and more dangerous animals... Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Get lost, you freak! Yeah, you can't swim, huh? Wow, that is a good thing to do, is to run directly into a wildcat in the jungle. That's smart, actually. Yeah, luckily I can swim. Real lifesaver there. I was trying to scavenge for bones so I could farm a few grapes for the water they give, but I ended up just finding more grapes anyways, so I didn't have to bother. I decided to investigate the jungle for a little bit that night, and I got some more feathers, which was awesome, but what I really wanted was watermelon. Watermelon grew during the summer, and I could use that to get one of the best drinks for the summer, melon juice. It would cool me down, and it was incredibly hydrating, and it was vital for getting through the hot temperatures. Unfortunately though, despite searching the entire night, I didn't find it. I did get held hostage by yet another howler and had to hide up in the trees. Day 26 though, the howler de-aggroed and I was able to get away and make my journey home. Along the way, I got a chicken egg, which I was kind of excited for. Once I got back, I tried to make a chicken pen, but no luck. So no watermelons and no chicken pen, but I did discover that I could use strawberries to make tea. Which honestly was almost better than watermelon juice, but the tea requires the cooking pot, which was incredibly hot to be around. Though, since the strawberry tea was a cold drink, I could actually be near the cooking pot without overheating, so it kind of solved the problem on its own. Because a lot of my crops were out of season now, I went ahead and dug up most of them from the farm and planted a lot more lettuce and strawberries. Those were my main sources of food and drink, and luckily both of them still grew during the summer. I also added cotton, wheat, and sugarcane to the farm, so I had more options. Day 27, I looked through what foods I had access to when I discovered an unbeatable dish. Potato salad, a cold food so it would help me survive the summer heat, and it only took a baked potato and a beetroot to make 4. Unfortunately, both those crops were out of season, but with how much I can make, this would last me a while. While the potatoes baked, I made some wooden buckets. These could only be used for water, and they weren't super useful, but they were a little bit more convenient for making tea. Speaking of tea, I did learn that I do not get my bottle back when I drink it, so that was a little bit of a downside. Not that horrible though, it would certainly still work. Now for the reason I did that entire journey in the first place. I was able to break down granite into powder, and then using the sifter I could create quartz nuggets. It took 2 entire sifters, but I got 5 quartz and I was able to create this ingot gauge thing, and then using that I made these scorched alloyer. Now I could mix metals together to create entirely new materials. I was about to set it up when, that bear is chasing up. That bear is, oh good, that firefly led a bear to my base. That's good. And there's a howler. This is great news. How did I not see these for the first like 15 days? Go away. You're not getting in my house. It keeps like lunging at me. Oh, it can so fit in the door. Oh my god. Repair my sword. I got it. Another head for the collection. Oh yeah. All right, another howler slain, but once again, that was really convincing me to get stronger weapons. And day 28, that's exactly what I planned to do. I set up the alloyer with the heater and all the other stuff, and now I just had to figure out how to use it. It had no input slots or anything, so I assumed to make alloys I would need to put in buckets of molten metal directly. I used the melter to melt some copper and pour it into a bucket, then I did the same with zinc, and then I learned that's apparently not how you do it. So I had to look it up, and it turns out you have to put 2 tanks on each side of it. I did that, put some zinc in one of the tanks, and the next morning I put in copper, and boom, I am now creating brass. I made a brass blade and instantly upgraded my sword. I wanted to upgrade the handle too, and handles add multipliers to the different stats of the weapon. The best that I could make would be obsidian. I emptied the alloyer in both the tanks, and I ran over and grabbed lava from a nearby lava pool. I put it and some water in the alloyer, but apparently coal was not hot enough. I had to go get more lava to use as fuel and store it in a tank. Gathering lava during the summer was very hot, by the way, not a fan. This let me get obsidian though, and I made 2 tool rods and I upgraded my sword. This was a way better weapon than the flint sword I had been using, and now I wanted better tools and armor. Day 30, I wanted to make amethyst bronze, an alloy that made insanely fast tools and decently strong armor. To make it, it was just amethyst and copper, and I could finally make use of the amethyst that grew all over the hot spring next to my base. I grabbed it all and started melting it. It also required lava to melt, which I guess makes sense. Once I had molten amethyst and copper, I combined them in the alloyer to get amethyst bronze. Then I just made my tool parts and I upgraded everything. This material was really fast, and not only that, but its ability allows it to break certain blocks faster. Anything that wouldn't normally require a tool, like dirt, was faster. I went ahead and upgraded the tool handles to obsidian for my axe and pickaxe because it added 20% durability. Then I replaced the binding with string. The binding does not affect stats at all, but it allows me to use string to repair, which is way easier to get than more amethyst. Unfortunately, the Matic does not use a binding, but that one should be fine. I spent the rest of the night making more amethyst bronze, and on day 31, I made a full set of armor plating and upgraded all of my armor. This was drastically better than the copper stuff that I had before. It had armor toughness and it gave me attack speed. The attack speed was part of its special attribute, which also said that it would restrict knockback angles, but I didn't really know what that meant, meaning it couldn't hurt me. I now wanted to make a crossbow, and I was looking at materials when yet another thunderstorm rolled in. Seriously, it was like a dozen of these in the past 30 days. It was unreal. Though I took advantage of the slightly colder weather from the storm to grab lava so I could make a part of my crossbow. I made the bow grip out of obsidian, and then I saw an awesome material that made use of my bamboo. Bamboo steel. It had great stats for a crossbow, and it was easy to make. I just made a bamboo limb, and then I poured some molten iron over it to strengthen it or something, and then boom, bamboo steel. I was just gonna do normal string for the bowstring when I saw something way better called dark thread, which gave looting. I made a normal string, then I poured obsidian over it to get a dark thread bowstring. After combining everything, I made the bamboo steel crossbow with the looting bonus from the string a perfect weapon for hunting. I made some arrows, and then on day 32, I decided to go ahead and make more brass and then make this tool forge. This was just the higher tier of Tinker Station that let me make more advanced tools that I didn't really need or want yet, but I figured that would make it eventually, so why not now? Okay, but now I wanted to try out my crossbow by doing a bit of hunting. I was running into issues lately where my inventory was just too full. I gathered all these plants, have all these tools, now I have even more stuff with the crossbow and arrows, and to solve that, I wanted a backpack. To get one, I would just need leather, which I can get from the many deer that inhabit my forest, so I headed out. Deer, hello! I'm sorry, you're kind of in a corner. Die, die, die! Ooh, there we go! And this buckskin, I can smoke into leather, perfect. Nah, there we go. Let's find another one. A boar? You know what? That works. Die. Die. Ooh, you didn't drop leather, but you died. Oh, an egg. Bonus. I see a deer. Target acquired. Come here. Die. Ooh, flick shot. Oh, flick shot. Ooh. 4. Okay. I wonder if that gives leather. I'm trying it. It did not. That might have been an innocent dog. That's on me. Oh, I just found leather on the ground. And chicken. And there's a howler. Okay, got it. Okay, I'm going home. I got my leather. Yay. Oh, jeez, that's a huge bear. That's a gargantuan bear. That is a massive bear. Oh, it can swim. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. Did it stop? Blocks, blocks, blocks. Did it stop? Okay, it stopped. That is a monstrous bear. Wow. Wow, that was scary. I thought there was a bison next to me. You don't want to mess with a bison-sized bear. Oh my god. Wow. It swam so much faster than I thought it could. That was terrifying. Okay, I want to go home. That's a giant hog! Why? Why is everything so scary? What is that? Are you also bears? No, that's what I thought. You're chill like that. I mean, not all bison are chill. Look at that hog. I'm not messing with that thing. Get me in my house, please. What? Wait, I just got home. Chicken! Chicken in my house! Chicken! Come here. I got you a new house. House? Come here. Oh, yeah. Boxed. Yo! That's awesome! What? A chicken spawned. Do you know how rare a natural mob spawn, like a natural animal spawn is? And it spawned at my house? That's so good! And now, I smoke this. Oh yeah, and I got an egg from a turkey. Bang. Oh. He gave me a feather! Oh, he sheds feathers! Yes! Infinite arrow glitch. Let's go. The world just refreshed. Is it midsummer? Oh, that's bad. Okay, that's hot. Okay, now that I have leather and a 1,000,000-degree house because there's a smoker in it. All right, I have leather. I go this, boom, bang, small backpack. And now there we go. I got a backpack. Oh, that took so much longer in this video than any other video in the past, but I did it. I can eventually upgrade it, but I don't know what this is, so I'll have to figure that out, I guess. But for now, I have a backpack. Yippee. A backpack and the chicken acquired. I made this chicken nest that I saw earlier and I put it in the pen. Not sure what it did, but I can only assume that it would automatically collect eggs or something. Next, I wanted to build up some walls to reinforce my base, so I went deep into the woods and started cutting down trees. Reinforcing was important because as I build more things and expand, my base area will become much larger and I'll be at even higher risk of bears, coyotes, howlers, or even larger threats of wandering their way into my base. Walls would keep those out and keep me safe. Building would also allow me to hang around my base and keep my chicken loaded so I can get some eggs to grow my chicken farm. Overall, it was just a really good idea. Once I had a few stacks of maple logs, I headed back home and slept. I spent day 34 placing a layer of these logs all the way around my base and the pond because I wanted to make sure I had access to that if I needed it. And right as I finished the outline, I noticed something. Where'd my chicken go? I had a chicken, right? Who ate my chicken? Oh man. I'll get another one eventually. Yeah, so no more chicken. My theory for what happened is that because zombies are turned off, that chicken was a failed chicken jockey spawn and therefore was considered a hostile mob, so it despawned. Or it was eaten by some wild animal or something, which is also very possible. I'd worry about getting a new chicken later, but for now I just tore down the fence around my farm and started working on more strawberry tea. Day 35, I realized that I was gonna need a lot more wood for the walls I wanted to make. So I went out and spent all day and night gathering more. Then on the way back home, I got to try out my crossbow on some of those howlers. It took a few arrows, but this weapon ended up being perfect. Not only did I find those howlers, but I also found another chicken. I was hyped. I immediately started leading it to my base when tragedy struck. No! No! Why? Well, that's probably what happened to my first one. Oh, nah. Bro, I don't have the arrows to kill that. Oh, jeez. Got more of those, though. Yeah, so I guess wild animals do, in fact, eat chickens. I made more arrows, and the next morning I took out that bear. For the rest of the day, I just worked on the walls. I built them up a few more blocks and started adding some varied height and fences to the top. The fences were meant to be spikes. They kind of looked like it for the most part. Right as I was finishing up this part of the walls, I heard another chicken. I brought this one into the pen, and then I fed it a seed, hoping that would keep it from despawning. If that was even the reason the other one vanished, I had no idea. Day 37, I made some tea and I admired my new walls. I tried to make it look like a good out in the wilderness survival base type wall, which didn't exactly work out, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, I was happy with it. I added a fence gate area, and while doing so, I learned that it had gotten so hot that I was overheating just by being outside at all. What that meant is that I needed a solution quickly. I still had nearly half of summer left, and I just would not survive if I had to deal with this level of heat for that much longer. And the solution was that I would need to venture to a cold biome. In hot and cold biomes, there are special ferns that I can use to create threads that can make my armor more resistant to the hot or cold. Before heading out, I took advantage of the cooler temperatures at night to make more tea. Once that was done, I realized that I could cut up the pelt that I got from the bear for leather. And using that, I was able to make a canteen. This could hold a lot of water, and once purified, it would give me a nice backup supply whenever I ran out of tea. Okay, the next morning, I wanted to head for a cold biome. There were snowy mountains in two different directions, so I just picked one and I headed towards it. Of course, yet another rainstorm went by. This one was a lot more chill though, maybe the stormy season was coming to an end. Once I reached the top of a hill, I spotted a structure. Structures in this mod pack were incredibly rare, and while they weren't super overpowered, they could give me some useful items that could help me survive. This one was an abandoned farmhouse. It had a bunch of gears and mechanical stuff from the Create mod. None of that was super useful to me right now, but there were hay bales which I grabbed. 16 of them to be exact, which gave me a ton of wheat for my food supply back home. I then kept heading for the cold area, leaving all those mechanical parts behind. Those do end up coming in handy later though, thankfully the structure is not too far from my base. I made my way towards the mountain, gathering iron along the way, and as the sun was setting, I even found an emerald. A very valuable item that I can use to upgrade my gear later. But yeah, the sun set, and given I was on a mountain, I began to freeze. I had to make my way to slightly lower ground, which was warm enough for now. Then, from my vantage point so high up, I spotted a snowy taiga, and that is exactly where I had to go to get my ferns. I started heading there when I encountered something. Oh, whoa, what are you? Yeah, you're not, okay. Yetis? That's not very realistic. Okay, there's Yetis now. There's howlers, there's Yetis. What's next, bro? Bigfoot? I only have 20 arrows. I can't deal with that. Okay, it's actually has a very long aggro range. I need to get away. I just can't fight that because I know what mod that is too. Why do I have that installed? I'm keeping it, I think. No, I don't really want that installed. The howlers, those things, I don't really. There's another Yeti. Oh my god. Yeti howler. Oh, there's another Yeti. Oh, they're surrounding me. Oh, this is bad. Yeah, Yetis. Not realistic exactly, unless you believe in Yetis, then more power to you, I guess. That was from a mod called Luminous Beasts, which I did not mean to leave in this mod pack. I was trying something out, and I just tested it and never deleted it, and honestly, I'm shocked that it took this long to see something from it. I was planning to just uninstall it, because it wasn't even meant for this video, but I thought it over, and it actually gave me an idea. The creatures from that mod are not entirely out of place. They're basically cryptids, which, while not proven to be real, are still realistic. And they drop trophies when defeated. They are very, very strong, some having more health than even the Ender Dragon, so they would not be easy fights, and it was honestly a really bad idea, but I had already made up my mind. Before, my goal was just to survive, but now I wanted to hunt down and claim the trophies of some of these cryptids before the year was over. First, though, I would have to survive long enough to do so. After sleeping to day 39, I took my boat down the river to the snow biome. I killed some turkeys for feathers and began looking for this special fern for my armor. Thankfully, it was a nice summer day. Any other time of year, I for sure freeze to death in this biome. I looked around for a bit and ended up seeing these cute little birds on a beach. I wanted to take them home, but they didn't seem tameable or anything, so that was kind of sad. I ended up not finding the ferns on lower ground, so I tried to travel further up, and unsurprisingly, it was way too cold. Even with torches, I was freezing. I looked through all the hot food options, most of which were stews, but I did see a few that I would be able to make. I killed a few pigs, got cobble for a furnace, and started to cook. I slept, and on day 40 I cooked the pork chop again to get a pork knuckle, which counted as a hot food. This would be a temporary solution, and I had just hoped that I'd find those ferns quickly. But no, I didn't. In fact, it was really bad. I started taking damage because it was so cold, and it was just a bad time. Seriously though, this may not have been the best idea. Freezing to death was a real risk here. If this was a taste of what I'd be dealing with when winter comes, I would definitely want to prepare for that. Day 41, I managed to find a few sheep, and I killed them. I forgot one of my tools worked as shears, so that was a huge misplay. Regardless, I was able to make wool boots to warm up a little bit and also walk on powdered snow. Day 42, I discovered a new strategy for fighting the cold, which was lava. Just carrying the bucket around was already really good, and then placing it down made me even warmer, and it was great. Then on day 43, I decided to give up on the ferns. There was just no point. The summer was nearly over, and I spent half of it freezing of all things. The trip was not for nothing though. I found cabbage. It was pretty much the same as lettuce with a few different recipes, and it grew during the autumn and winter, so I had a good crop for the upcoming seasons. I also learned about the cryptids on this trip, which gave me a goal that I was pretty excited for. I began to head home, and it wouldn't be an outing without yet another storm. This time it was a snowstorm at least, which was cool. Towards the end of the day, I ended up in a forest that I did not think Yetis could spawn in, but it turns out they can. I had to run as fast as I could out of that forest to sleep on the beach, otherwise I was for sure gonna die to those things. Day 44, I was honestly a little lost. I wandered a lot of the snow biomes and got all turned around. I ended up coming across the abandoned farmhouse that I saw before though, which was all I needed to get reoriented and find my way back home. When I was walking back home, I definitely realized that summer was on its way out. I survived the worst of the heat by simply being in the coldest biome imaginable. Not the smartest way to do it, but it did work. Safely inside my walls, I stored all the stuff that I gathered on the cold biome adventure. I went to refill my canteen when I realized that my chicken was once again gone. I guess an animal farm was just out of the question. It was just despawning every time and I had no idea why. I also made a second canteen because on that trip I used all of mine and most of my tea. Using the emerald that I got from the mountain, I could either reinforce one of my tools to add durability, or I could create tools with it. The emerald tool ability is that it adds mining speed or bow draw speed in the overworld, but the stats on it were much worse than what I was currently using, so it wasn't really worth it. I wasn't sure if I'd get more emeralds eventually, or what was even best to use it on, so I just saved it for now. Okay, I wanted to upgrade my base a little bit, and to do it, I wanted to make some of the higher tier tools that I unlocked with the tool forge, the sledgehammer and the excavator. I made wooden pieces of the parts that I would need, and on day 45, I started working on the tools. I made a seared stone large plate so I could mine smeltable blocks faster, a brass tough handle, and a seared stone handle as well. Finally, I made a tough collar out of string so I could repair the tools with string, and then I combined them all to create an excavator. This was a shovel that mines in a 3x3, and because I made it out of seared stone, I was really good at gathering sand. Then, this sledgehammer was a little bit more expensive to make. I melted copper and amethyst and alloyed them for 8 amethyst bronze, and I made a hammerhead out of it. I also made a seared handle and then 2 obsidian plates. And by combining them all, I was able to make the sledgehammer. This mined in a 3x3, and it wasn't the fastest, but it was definitely faster than mining 1 block at a time. While I was looking at materials for that hammer, by the way, I learned of a crazy one. I can't really pronounce it, but it was basically obsidian reinforced wood. And it was crazy for weapons. The handle gave a 35% bonus to melee damage and made things that I hit bleed. I used my final piece of obsidian to make a handle and then I added it to my sword. I'm not really sure how I missed that material before, but it was crazy strong. Alright, day 46, I wanted to create a storm bunker. I had lucked out so far, only one major storm and it was while I was away from home, but that luck would run out eventually. I decided it'd be smart to dig out a room underground and put my chests and stuff down there. My current chests were also getting very full, so it was the perfect time. I dug a staircase down, made a stone cutter, and some lanterns. I saw that I could cut cobblestone into stone bricks, and I can combine them into stone brick blocks. And for some reason, I got way more blocks out of it than I even had cobblestone, which was crazy. So yeah, I made stone brick stairs, dug out a decent sized room, and then I made the walls into stone bricks. Not only did it look better, but I also thought that maybe stone bricks would be like more resistant to storm damage or something. I'm not really sure how it works, but maybe. I was planning out how I wanted the rest of the build to be when I heard something. What was that? What's happening? Am I crazy? Was that a meteor? Oh, I'm in the middle of building. I'm busy. Sleep. Oh, not now. Oh, please, just don't let there be a tornado. Whatever you do, do not let there be a tornado. Dude, I'm gonna get struck by lightning. No, but I heard something crash down. I saw a smoke trail. Is this it? No, this is just a rock. Oh, here. Meteor. Yes. Oh, I've been waiting so long. Meteor. Sky rock. Yes. Oh, I wish I got to see it. Oh, Jesus. Oh, but I got a sky rock. I can't really do anything with that. Wow, that was really close to my base. That was right here. Okay, I'm gonna get back to work before one of these storms becomes a lot worse. The very first meteorite. It was cool, but that could have easily landed on my base. Yet another reason to finish the bunker, I guess. After killing a spider that spawned down there, I started digging out a ceiling. I noticed that my walls were starting to become mossy because yeah, I had a mod installed that added realistic weathering to the world, and I guess there was some water in the walls. Kinda cool honestly, though hopefully it wouldn't make my bunker look terrible. I added some lanterns and lit them. After gathering more pine wood, I added my last wooden pillar. Now, the floor I wanted deep slate for, which I did not have yet, so it would just wait for now. I added more chests and moved all my items down here, and then I went ahead and moved the crafting stuff too. My actual house was just empty, but it served me well until this point at least. I went ahead and harvested my farm one last time as it was the final day of summer and none of these crops were going to be able to grow starting tomorrow. I then went on a quick outing to get gravel so I could make some more arrows. That was in preparation for caving. There were many reasons that I wanted to go into the caves: better materials, important resources, and deep slate for my bunker. I spent that night doing my last prep by making food. I cut up some pork that I had into bacon, turned wheat into dough, and I made dumplings. This food was incredibly saturating and should last me more than long enough, especially because I still had 30 potato salads. While it was cooking, I went ahead and moved the melter and the alloyer and stuff down to the bunker because if I lost those to some tornado, it would be devastating. The next morning, the world refreshed, meaning autumn had officially begun. I went ahead and planted some crops for the new season, grabbed my dumplings, and I went to look for a cave. It didn't take long to find a ravine that led deeper down, and I just started mining ores. Iron, zinc, found some gold too. The hammer helped a lot with gathering ores. This thing was a massive time saver. Once I reached a deep slate, things got very interesting. New ores everywhere, all of which could be used to make tools and armor. Tourmaline, which does more damage in hot environments. Corundum, which injures things that I hit, slowing and weakening them. Spinal, which could make things float, which doesn't sound that realistic, but maybe it's like electromagnetism or something. I also got titanium, a lightweight material that could be used to cause bleeding and could also make really good bows. And finally, a heavy material called tonium, which could weigh things down. I assume that was good for like flying targets or something. This cave overall was not that dangerous. It had a lot of spiders, which I could handle, and there were a lot of ores that I was mining, so it was very worth the small risk. I was getting all these tool materials, redstone, gold, lapis, it was great. I was also hearing a lot of thunder, which had me a little bit worried. The last thing I wanted was a tornado to destroy my base while I was gone. But this thunder was not letting up. It was constant, and after climbing a little bit higher into the cave, I could hear the sounds of intense winds and trees breaking. I was certain that a tornado was destroying the surface above me, which was terrifying, and I just had to hope that my base was safe. To reinforce this fact, my FPS was just tanking, meaning something was definitely going on up there. And the worst part is that I couldn't really afford to worry about it right now. I kind of had to just ignore it. If I went up there during a tornado, I would definitely just die, and I also still needed resources, so I couldn't afford to stop mining. So yeah, I just had to ignore it, then keep caving. And as soon as I did, I saw a massive centipede. Spiders were definitely not the only threats in the caves. Luckily, I had a crossbow so I could take it out from a distance, otherwise that could have been a problem. It was far from the only one that I saw, too. I took out 2 more that were scuttling up to me from a mine shaft, and then another one that got a little too close for comfort. I had no way of knowing how much damage they would do without getting hit, but I wanted to avoid that at all costs. In that mine shaft, though, I got incredible stuff. Rice, 2 diamonds, and tomato seeds. Rice and tomatoes were 2 foods that I had been needing for ages. They're the base of so many recipes, and they really opened up food options. Tomatoes unfortunately only grew during the summer, but there were ways to make crops grow when it wasn't their season, so I would need to work on that. I kept exploring the mineshaft and ended up finding a cave spider spawner, and for some reason my sword did not work to break cobwebs, so they rely on water. And in the process of doing that, I got hit by a cave spider. I had to run away and block myself in to stay safe because this poison was brutal. And to make matters worse, it was cold in the cave. Regardless, I got through it. I also saw a chicken while in the mineshaft. which kind of reinforces my failed chicken jockey theory, I think. After like an hour of fighting off swarms of spiders and mining and stuff, I finally found my first diamond ore. 1 diamond ore. Well, I did find 2 more in that cave, but that only brought me up to a total of 5. I was really hoping to get more diamonds because it was a really good material for armor, and I could definitely use better armor as I was about to learn. Oh my god! 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 Wow! 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 My foot's broken. Wow! Healing herbs. Foot. Wow! That is a scarier mob than I realized. Gotta hold my lava bucket for safety. Wow, that was not chill at all. Okay, wow, I underestimated that. Oh, is it because I'm wearing these stupid shoes? Dude, it's cold down here. I have to. Oh my god. Okay. I'm good. And that is why I stay as far away from those as possible, I guess. Seriously, one of those in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I would just be dead. Before, I was blissfully ignorant of how dangerous they were. They looked scary, but I wasn't too sure. But now, I didn't even want to be in this cave anymore with those death machines. Especially because I got hit by another one right after and had to go back into my hole to heal again. Genuinely almost the worst case scenario. I found 2 more diamonds, killed yet another centipede, and I took a moment to refill my canteens. From there, I made my way deeper into a massive lava cavern. Unfortunately, it was not quite as loaded with diamonds as I would have liked, but I did find an amethyst geode. I wasn't sure how much longer I'd be using the amethyst bronze material, but I got a stack just in case. You would expect a lava cave to be hot, but given the rest of the cave was cold, it was actually just the right temperature, which was nice because I was tired of carrying a lava bucket around to avoid freezing to death. I went throughout this cave and mined every diamond that I saw and ended up with a grand total of 12. Not amazing, of course, but diamonds were far from the only thing that I got on this trip. Now, I just needed to head home and put this stuff to good use. I went for a not so realistic way to get home, which was just digging straight up. I had taken way too many twists and turns to find my way out of that cave, so I really had no choice. Once I reached the dirt layer, I heard a howler above me, so I just went back down into the cave and slept. Day 54, I dug up to the surface, and now I had to find my way home. You could definitely tell it was autumn now. The trees were all red and orange and stuff, and it was beautiful. Truly the best season. I found my base and it was in good shape, which left the question of where did that storm take place? And it didn't take much searching to find the damage. Oh, wow. Whoa. This was a tornado, that's for sure. Wow. Okay, not only was it a tornado, this was like a massive one. Compared to the one that I saw before, that was like a tiny line in the ground. This was gargantuan. Look at this path of destruction. This was like, the one I saw before is probably like a category 1. Is it category? Is that how it's described? This was like a category 4 or something. Maybe 5. I don't know. 5 is the highest, right? I don't really know how storms work. Yeah, so it touched down or ended right here and went all the way through the forest. This is like right through my spawn. It just keeps going. I want to see how far it goes. Well, I'm definitely never using this part of the map. I can't do anything over here. This is destroyed. What a mess. It killed a something. What kind of meat is this? It killed a pachyderm, a rhinoceros. I am so glad that I was not on the surface when this happened. Oh my, look at this. It tore this little mountain to shreds. Yeah, and it went straight. Oh, I'm not going all the way over there. That is way too far. It went straight through, up that mountain and through that forest over there. That's like a solid 1,000 blocks of just straight tornado. Might even be more, to be honest. That's so much. Okay, I gotta get home and get my stuff in order. An absolutely a massive path of destruction, but it was kind of reassuring. This was clearly a stronger tornado than the one I had seen before, but it got wider rather than digging deeper into the ground. What this told me is that my bunker should be mostly safe from a tornado, at least hopefully. Back home, I started sorting all my ores, I planted some rice, and then I replaced the floor of my bunker with deep slate tiles. Now it looked way better. I was really happy with it, honestly. I repaired my tools, which took way more string than expected, probably not really worth using the stringy parts now that I knew that. Then I started smelting glass because I had something very important to build. The next day, while it was smelting, I went to get more sand and wood, and then that night, I dug up my entire farm. You might be able to guess at this point, but I was building a greenhouse. Doing this would let me grow crops outside of their season, such as the tomato seeds that I got that only grow during the summer. Now, it didn't need to be fancy, so I literally just built a basic wooden frame and then I covered the roof with glass. Then I spent that night tilling, and the next morning I planted tomatoes, beetroots, and cabbages and carrots. I added sugarcane, glowberries, and also strawberries, cotton, and potatoes back in because the season didn't matter as much anymore. Now that my farm was expanded and upgraded, it was time to use all the ore that I got. To do it, I would need a full-size smeltery because things just took way too long with the setup I had been using. I melted down a bit of copper and poured it over a seared brick to get a smeltery controller. Then I crafted a seared drain and 2 fuel tanks that would be used to store lava, and now I needed a lot of seared bricks. I was already smelting grout to get more, but there was another way. I could put clay into the melter, then pour it over stone bricks to get seared ones, but I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of a pain to do it this way, so for the most part, I just used grout. Day 57, while the bricks were cooking, I went and filled 2 tanks with lava, and now it was time to build this thing. I wanted to put it in the wall of my bunker, which would be easy if not for the fact there was a water cave right inside the wall. I had to put down a bunch of cobblestone to fill it in and clear enough space for my smeltery, but I got it done. I started building the smeltery entirely from memory of just playing mod packs growing up, and I was a little bit worried they had changed something because it definitely looked different than I remembered, but once I put the last block in the second layer, it started working. My smeltery was complete. This was just a way larger version of the melter. It could smelt more, it could hold more, it was faster, it was incredible. I built it up 1 more layer to give it more storage, and now that it was up and running, I smelted a bunch of iron and gold so I would have ingots to craft stuff with. And on day 58, it was time for tool and armor upgrades. The first thing I did was make permanent casts. No longer would I need to do a sand cast every time I made a part. I can now use these gold ones infinitely. And now for the gear upgrades. The first thing I wanted was a longbow, because I was just about tired of my crossbow not loading what I wanted it to and costing me a shot at something I was trying to shoot, and a bow would just be easier. I made a Corundum bow grip. This thing's ability made things I hit slow down and weakened, and it had decent stats. Then a bamboo steel bow limb, because it had good stats, and finally I wanted to make a titanium bow limb. But lava was too cold to melt the ore. Turns out it needed blazing blood, which you can get from blaze rods. Since this was supposed to be realistic, there was no nether. Well, there was, but I don't really want to go there. Instead, I had to go and learn how to use the Craft Tweaker mod to make my own recipe. For it, I would need any tool handle and 4 magma blocks, which seemed fair enough to me. After harvesting my farm, I went and gathered magma from these little hot springs. I then made stone tool handles and crafted 3 blaze rods. Throwing them in the smeltery let me melt them down into blazing blood, and I don't fully get how I made a hotter fuel source using lava as a colder fuel source, but if it works, it works. I stored it in a tank, then I replaced the lava in the smeltery with it, and that allowed me to melt down titanium. It was barely enough, honestly, but I was now able to make my titanium bow limb. After making a bowstring, I combined it all to make my brand new longbow. The draw speed was fast and the accuracy was literally perfect. I could not ask for a better bow. And I retired my crossbow because I doubt I would ever need it again. Now for armor. I looked through all the options, and while titanium was by far the best, I did not have nearly enough magma to melt it down right now. Instead, I opted for Corundum, because while it was not as good as titanium, it was still a lot better than the amethyst bronze I had been using. The morning of day 60, I poured molten Corundum over top my armor to upgrade it, and now it was stronger, and it looked pretty cool too. While upgrading that, there was a thunderstorm outside that was really stressing me out. I was kind of on edge after seeing the destruction caused by that one tornado, so I kinda wanted to give myself a little peace of mind. I used some iron, gold, and redstone to create a weather siren, and this thing should go off if a storm is actually going to become a tornado. At least I hope so. I also took the opportunity to make a compass, which finally let me see coordinates. No more having to use landmarks to find my way home. I could do it the true Minecrafter way. I was considering adding diamond mail to my armor because it would boost the toughness, but apparently that also needed blazing blood to melt, so it would have to wait. Next on the upgrade list was my sword, which I upgraded to Tourmaline. It was strong, and it had an ability to let me deal damage to all nearby enemies, which was good if I ended up fighting like a pack of wild animals or something. In terms of tools, there actually was not a material better than amethyst bronze, so instead I opted for a modifier. I hadn't done one of these yet, but basically I could add materials to one of my tools or weapons or whatever to give them different buffs. For example, 5 blocks of redstone could add a level of haste to my tools, which was kinda like a vanilla efficiency enchantment. So I did that for my pickaxe, hammer, and axe, so I can at least say they were upgraded somewhat. I looked at other modifiers and learned that I could just add a diamond to any of my tools or weapons to increase their stats across the board. And like, yeah, I for sure wanted that, so I added a diamond to my sword, pickaxe, bow, and hammer to make them even better. Day 61, I made some bandages, a better healing item. The healing herbs were just not that great for the centipede attack, and I hoped that these would be better. After a quick harvest of my farm, I was ready to head out on a trip. Earlier, I went to that snow biome to search for ferns to resist the heat, and they were so rare that I didn't find them at all. Now I wanted to get ahead of the game and find some of those hot ferns to resist the cold before it becomes winter. And I already knew where a savanna was, so I headed out. Along the way, I got any magma from the hot springs that I saw, because the sooner I could upgrade my armor, the better. Speaking of armor, I took a short break to look at the armor modifiers when I experienced my first meteor shower. Oh my god! It's a meteor shower. It's a meteor shower. It's a meteor shower. It's a meteor shower. Am I safe? They're still coming down. It's still happening. I think that one fizzled out. It looked like it fizzled out. I have no idea. I'm not safe. I'm not safe. I'm not safe at all. I'm not safe at all. Oh my god. They just keep falling. They make thunder sound effects. No, it's my house. No, that should not be my house. My house should be okay. Another one. Oh, there's so many. It's a full-on meteor shower. Oh, jeez. Okay. Right there. Oh god. Like, okay. If one is about to land on me, I think I'm just dead. Oh, bro, no amount of weaponry is gonna fight the. It's a meteor. I got all my weapons and stuff made. All my gear is good. And the first threat that I face is a meteor shower. How many are there? How do I know if it's done? Because there are large like gaps between them. I knew this could happen because I looked at the config and it said like meteor showers during or amount of meteors or whatever during a meteor shower. I didn't touch it. It's lasting way too long. Are meteor showers this long in real life? Do meteor showers happen in real life? I don't know. I don't know for sure. It really? No, there's gotta be like, oh, there's gonna be a forest fire at this rate, and that's gonna be really laggy and not very good for me. I wanna go see some of these. Wait, where are they landing? Oh, right here. I think it's over. There hasn't been one for like a little bit. Skyrock. This doesn't really do anything, but I think some of the meteors have resources. I didn't look too much into the mod. I wanted it to be a surprise. Oh, this one. Oh, ooh, FPS. Are we okay? This one had gold. 1 gold ore. Exciting. Interesting. Space gold. I'll look around. I didn't see any big ones. Oh, another hole right here. Okay. More Skyrock. Oh, wait, that one just gave me gold. I don't think any of those were like really big meteors. I think the big meteors have. This was just stone. Yeah. I think the big meteors have unique items, like unique materials and stuff. This one landed in water. Yeah, it's for sure over. Okay, wow, that was cool, actually. A little scary, because these do explode when they land, and I think that would have just been really bad. But we're okay. I'm alive. Another thing that if it happened near my base could have been a catastrophe. With that cool but scary event over, I made my way through this redwood forest. I made it out of the forest the next morning, and I passed by the jungle and went through the flower biome that I was in before. And it didn't take very long to reach the savanna. It wasn't hot enough to give me hypothermia this time of year, which was nice, however, it was still very dangerous. Some incredibly threatening animals lived in the savanna, like lions, hippos, different species of boar from the forest. There were quite a few. Though I didn't really need to worry about any of that, because almost immediately I found what I was here for. Is that it? Well, that's it. Is this the fern? This is the fern. Hello, kangaroos. I come in peace. You can see that it's glowing and stuff. Gimme. Yes, sun ferns. Wow, that was really easy. I was not here for very long. I thought it was gonna be like the whole snow biome thing. That was like a whole multi-day thing for the snow biome. I never even found anything. I got seeds too. I can grow it. I can grow them. And yeah, what I can do is I can use a sewing table to make string, and I can make a thread. This thread, I can then apply to my armor. What? Oh, there's a special one for both temperatures. Well, I don't have the cold one, so it doesn't matter. And yeah, I can apply this thread to my armor. I can apply it to any kind of armor, even the kind that I'm using right now from Tinker's, right? Okay, I'm actually unsure if I can even put this on my Tinker's armor, but I certainly better be able to. Honestly, I'm taking it and going home. What is that? That's just a random plant. It just looks funny. I'm just gonna go home. I don't need anything else out here, I don't think. No, yeah, I'm just gonna go home. I have what I came here for. I can just grow more back home. I'm on fire. Yeah, I need to leave. It's still pretty high here. With the sun ferns gathered, I started heading back home. I got the opportunity to test my new bow on a big cat that attacked me too, and yeah, this thing was pretty good. It slowed, it caused bleeding damage, it was just really good for debuffing whatever I was fighting pretty much. I arrived back home on day 64 and I used some bone meal to get up to 12 ferns. Inside, I crafted a sewing table and I made 12 warm strings. After crafting those into warming coats, I sewed them into my armor and now the entire set had 2 cold resistance per piece. Not sure how good that was really, but I did know the perfect way to test. It was time to hunt my first cryptid for its trophy, that being the Yetis that I saw before. I wanted to hunt that one down before winter because the biomes that it spawns in were already freezing during the summer, and during winter it would be impossible to survive. First, I wanted to get some form of hot food just in case, and for that I decided on onion soup. So yeah, I baked bread, I made bowls, and I started cooking the soup. While waiting on it, I made as many arrows as I could, and once the soup was done, I headed for the mountains. After reaching the base of the mountain, I started making my way up when I blindly walked into a massive beast. Oh my god, that's a hog, that's a hog, it's a hog, it's a hog, hello. Die. Oh, you gave up. I thought you were, was it like a bluff charge? I'm sorry. No, you're aggressive. Die. Good test, my bow is awesome. Giant tusk. Club. I don't think I want that. Yeah, not much of a threat apparently, and it made me even more confident in my bow. Being able to slow down enemies should make even the Yeti an easy target. I climbed my way up to the forest near the top of the mountain, and it was very cold, but my armor more or less held up. I decided to build a small shack, a little base of operations for this hunt. While doing so, I did start to freeze because the sun was going down, which was concerning, but I figured with the onion soup I should be fine. The sun finally set, and that night I began my search for the Yeti. And learned that I was not in the area that they could spawn, or I just didn't spot it, but based on what happened before, I didn't exactly think they were rare. There was an entire blizzard going on, so maybe that affected it, but you would think that would increase Yeti spawns and not prevent them. The sun came up without a single Yeti spotted. I gained some good knowledge though. I didn't freeze to death despite the blizzard, so my armor should be good enough for the winter as long as I don't go into too cold of biomes. Unfortunately though, the lack of Yeti did mean that I had to relocate my shack to a different area around the mountain, and then I had to wait for night again. I dug it up and I used the day to track down some cornflowers. These could be used to get the lucky modifier on my tools and weapons, which is basically fortune and looting. And if I ever had to mine diamonds again, I would for sure want that. This time around, I picked a forest a little further down the mountain, and it was one that I knew for a fact Yetis could spawn in. I rebuilt my shack, boiled some water, and it was now time for the Yeti hunt to begin. Okay, nighttime. It's time to hunt a Yeti. I don't think it'll be that hard. I think it'll be easier than I originally thought. I think my bow is very strong, but I also think that if it hits me, I will probably die. I don't know how strong it is. I have really good armor, but the issue is I can't get enchantments in this. I basically have unenchanted diamond armor right now. It's actually worse than diamond. And these things have more health than the Ender Dragon, so that it could really be a threat. It could really be a problem. I tested my bow though against the Howler. Oh, Yeti. Oh, okay. I 4-shot a Howler, so I need to see how many shots it takes to kill a Yeti. I have 49 arrows. Bang. 2, 3, 4. It's time. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This maiming ability is incredible. I'm slowed. He shoots me. Ow. Okay. Oh, I'm frozen. For how long? A music disc. What? Oh, he broke my foot. Heal. Okay. I didn't take that much damage. Well, I took quite a bit of damage actually. But he broke my foot in one shot. Also, he has ranged abilities. Didn't know that. Didn't expect that. He's a Yeti. But I did it. I hunted it. I'm frozen for literally ever, dude. How do I fix this? Is it bugged? Do I have to relog? There's a Howler outside my door. That's good. Okay, a relog fixed the freezing, but there is the Howler outside my door. Die. 3, 4. Die. Okay, but I hunted my first cryptid. The Yeti. However, I wanted the trophy. It's a 50% drop chance. I got the wrong drop. Okay. Are they all gonna be like that? Well, unfortunately, oh my god. Scared me. Unfortunately, that does mean I need to hunt down another Yeti. I want the trophy. There, you know what? I don't have to hunt it. It comes to me. Hello, Howler. Die. Dude, if I didn't have the maiming ability, this would be so much harder. The slowdown is so good. Please go down. You went down. Oh my god, give me the trophy. Another disc. I don't have any more arrows. I have feathers though. Oh, I need gravel. Gravel, here we go, okay. All right, this mod pack has a wonderful feature where I can just do this and I can get my flint. Okay, there we go. Stack of arrows. I need to hunt down at least another Yeti. I don't know how many. I need this trophy. It goes way better than I thought it would. I'm so much stronger than I realized. Yeti. Die, die, die. Oh my god! Can you not? The Howler is not nearly as scary as it once was. There's another Yeti. And my arm's broken. Eat, heal. Okay, this is actually not that good at all. Ow! I'm dead. I'm dead. I killed one. Oh my god. My arm is gone. My arm is gone. My arm is just gone on the screen. Am I good? I didn't get the trophy again. No, I killed another one somewhere else. Trophy. Okay, Yeti trophy. Get inside. Wow. Okay, Yeti trophy. A Yeti horn. Heal quicker in cold biomes. I mean, I'm in a cold biome right now. Dude, I'm missing max HP. I didn't even know that could happen. I haven't been injured that severely yet. Wow, that's scary. Heal my arm, please. My leg, too. Okay, so bandages I can heal with 3 times. That's what it means by 3 limbs. I understand. Wow, but I did it! Oh, a meteor. I did it! I have a trophy! Oh, I'm gonna hang this up in my base. Oh, wow, that was... The meteor landed over there. Okay, one Yeti, not that bad. The 2v1 destroyed me. Their projectile did so much damage. They instantly broke a limb every time they hit me. If they hit my head, do I just die? I have no idea. I did it though. I'm gonna relog to fix my freezing thing, and I'm gonna go home and hang up my very first trophy from a cryptid. Unless you count Howler heads, which I do not. Day 67, I started making my way back home. I checked out the meteor that had landed, which was nothing too crazy. Then, right after, I found something annoying. The cold things! Oh! They were here the whole time! Wow, that's stupid. Okay. I was here. I literally looked around. I didn't even know they could be in this biome. Oh, man. Okay. Sure. Yep, they were there the whole time, and I just didn't find them. I had them now, though, for whatever that's worth. I made my way through the forests and fields all the way back home, and at first I repurposed my original house to be a trophy room, and then realized that it'd be really bad if a tornado came through, so I moved them downstairs. My first cryptid hunt was a success, but not without risk. The 2v1 was honestly one wrong move away from being the end. There were no totems of undying in this, there were no second chances. If my health hit 0, it was over, and that almost happened in my first hunt. That little scare alone made me want to upgrade my sword and armor to titanium. I had enough magma to craft 5 blaze rods right now, and after turning those into blazing blood, I melted down 18 titanium. This made me realize that fuel in the smeltery was purely time-based, meaning I could melt down as much as I wanted to at once while the fuel was burning, which was good to know, but I wish I realized it a little bit sooner. Day 68, I poured titanium over my armor to upgrade it, and then I made a small blade and upgraded my sword. My gear was better, but I could actually go one step further. I took all 8 of my diamonds and I melted them down using blazing blood. I cast them into diamond mail, which would increase the toughness and all other stats of my armor. I looked at it in the tool forge and it increased both the armor and toughness by 1 each, and it was for sure the best mail that I could use. I applied it to all of my armor and it looked worse than expected, but still pretty cool. The stats were just insane, not to mention titanium had the ability to increase my melee damage and the mining speed. My defense and offense were significantly improved from this stuff. Now that all my gear was improved, I did a little bit of housekeeping. I was starting to get tired of how the ugly staircase down to my bunker looked. I know it was meant to be functional above all, but it was really ugly, so I redid it with some deep slate and stone brick to make it look a little bit nicer. I harvested my farm and sorted the chests a little bit, and then I got back to tinkering with my tools. I realized that the stringy thing to repair with string was basically useless, so I replaced those parts with ones that had better abilities. For my excavator, I did amethyst bronze, which would make it mine dirt and stuff faster. And for my pickaxe and axe, I alloyed obsidian with copper to make normal bronze, which would allow me to mine anything faster as long as I'm at higher durability. Finally, I made use of that cornflower that I got and added lucky as my pickaxe for whenever I had to mine diamonds again. Day 70, I wanted to stock up on more bandages, which needed a lot of wool. So yeah, I headed out to look for sheep. And it didn't take very long, fortunately. I found a big open plains with a bunch of sheep and I ran around shearing them. It took pretty much the entire day, but I got up to 29 wool, which was plenty. Back home that night, I gathered a bunch of flowers for herbs, I made plasters, and I made 5 more bandages. Kind of unreal how expensive those things were, but they were the literal difference between living and dying, so it was worth it. Day 71. I wanted to upgrade my arsenal one last time. I wanted to create guns for the hunts. And I mean create literally because it used the create mod to do it. Create is a really cool mod that I've always wanted to learn, but I never had the opportunity or reason before now. Making these was a process. I essentially had to make a miniature factory, but I thought that they would make the cryptid hunts a lot more fun, so I wanted to do it. I headed back to that abandoned farmhouse and looted it for all it was worth. Gearboxes, cogwheels, I wasn't sure what any of this did, but I was sure that I would need at least some of it. The water wheel, unfortunately, vanished when I tried to break it. Not sure why, but I guess I could just make my own if I needed one. Just as I finished looting, a thunderstorm began, and it was way too cold to walk in that, so I took shelter in a cave until it passed. Once it did, I went the rest of the way back home and started looking at what I had to do. The farmhouse gave me a solid head start, but it was by no means everything. The first thing I was going to have to make was mechanical crafters. I would need 11 in total, and for that I would need 4 rose quartz, which of course needs normal quartz. I sifted all my remaining granite powder and got 3, then sifted sand to get my 4th. I made my rose quartz and then way more sandpaper than I needed and sanded it down. Next I made a clay plate, then smelted it into a terracotta plate, and then I used that to make a plate cast at the smeltery. Using this I made 4 iron sheets and then 4 electron tubes. By using a brass ingot on a stripped log, I was able to make this casing block, and then using that, I could make my 12 mechanical crafters. I placed them outside, and now I just had to learn how to use them, and also get all the other materials. It was really quite the process. The hardest material by far was these sturdy sheets, so I was gonna do those first. I made a mechanical press out of stuff from the farmhouse, then I made a copper casing and combined it with dried kelp to make a spout. I don't really get the kelp part, but sure. The next thing I needed was powdered obsidian, which required crushing wheels, which required even more mechanical crafters. Getting the quartz for those with sand would be kind of brutal, so I took a small trip out to look for granite. But I spent all night looking, and of course found none, so I would just do it the slow way with sand. I was gathering some on the morning of day 73 when I saw the world refresh, indicating that winter had begun. One of the deadliest seasons, if not the deadliest season, but I felt prepared. My armor was good, my food supply was good, I should be fine for the winter. It was also still early winter, meaning it wasn't maximum cold yet, and it was still warm enough for me to get my sand from the ocean. Though the water was beginning to freeze over, so it was definitely getting colder fast. Back home, I sifted the sand and did the whole process to make the mechanical crafters, and I placed them in the right shape. Then I crafted a wrench with golden plates and a water wheel. I went outside to try and figure out how all this works when snow flurries began. It wasn't a full-blown blizzard, just little small bursts of snow here and there, but this was just a sign of things to come. I couldn't worry about that right now though, I had technology to figure out. Basically, I just had to make the gears in these crafters turn using cogwheels in some form of motion. The water wheel was my plan to do that, but apparently it was way too much for one to handle. However, 3 water wheels was enough. Now I needed andesite alloy, and that was just andesite and iron. I went and gathered the andesite from a boulder behind my base, and I made the alloys and I placed all the items onto the grid. It slowly but surely moved everything together to create my crushing wheels. It was really cool to be honest, a little slow for just crafting something, but it was kind of fun. Now for these crushing wheels, they're kind of the same as the crafter. I just need them to spin into each other and I can crush stuff. It was really easy to do with just 1 bucket of water and water wheels. I started making obsidian in the smeltery when I realized that was really slow and instead just took my hammer to some obsidian at a lava pool. Now I could throw obsidian into the crushers to get the powder that I needed. The next step in this massive process was to create a fluid pump system, and luckily JEI has built-in tutorials for this stuff or I would be lost. I made pipes, a mechanical pump, a fluid tank, and then I went to set it all up. I could not figure out how to get lava into the copper tank at all, but it turns out that seared tanks work too. Now I could spout lava onto the obsidian powder to complete step 1 of making the sheets. I set up the mechanical press and could then press those unfinished sheets twice to get sturdy sheets. That was by far the hardest part of the gunsmithing process, and I was finally done setting it up. From there, I went and gathered all the other materials. Brass, andesite alloys, iron sheets, I made some sturdy barrels, and it was time. Okay, I think it's time to make my first gun. So I need this to go into here, I need these, okay, I use the wrench to like direct it. It all has to go to the same spot in the end. And this has to go here, and then this has to go out here. And now everything should flow here. Okay. So I go sturdy sheets, stripped wood, andesite alloy, sturdy barrel, and then brass sheet, and boom, there it goes. It's making it. It's kind of cool. It's a little bit slow. I imagined if I had better rotational stuff, it would be faster, but I don't know. I've never used Create before. It's kind of cool. It's kind of a cool mod. I like it. All right, here we go. Yeah, do it. And it goes in, and it comes out spinning. Yes, my shotgun. My shotgun. Wow, why am I holding it like that? I like it better in first person. Oh, shotgun. Shotgun. It's not, oh, I kind of like do a weird swaying motion when I walk side. I'm going to be motion sick. Hold on. Why does it do that? All right, anyways, I need to also make ammo, so I have to go figure out how to do that. But we got a gun. Let's go. Okay, for ammo, I made a brass hand and crafted a deployer. Then I had to stone cut an iron ingot to get a shotgun shell shape for the machine. Back outside, I placed the deployer and I gave it the shell shape, and then I pressed brass sheets into empty shotgun shells. Now, to actually fill these, I would need gunpowder and lead. I could make gunpowder with salt, and lead was an ore. Somehow, lead had eluded me during the entire mining trip. Salt was also an ore, though that was not the only way to get it, but I never saw that one either. But yeah, this meant I had to go mining again. Before going, I needed to make more food, and I opted for bacon sandwiches. I could only make 18, but between that and my remaining dumplings, I should be fine. I then disassembled all of my gunsmithing stuff and stored it safely in my bunker. The last thing I wanted was to come back and have it destroyed by a tornado and have to make it all over again. I went off to find a cave that night, made my way deeper down, and went mining. Eventually, after fighting through spiders and centipedes, I ended up in a larger cave. After carefully navigating down to a lower area, I got some diamonds and found a vein of lead ore. It was hard to see, but it gave me a lot per ore, so I shouldn't need to find too much. This was also in a magma cave, and I took the opportunity to stock up on magma blocks. Now that I had actually found lead though, I fought through the endless amount of spiders and just mined what I could find in this cave. I also got a lot of diamonds, way more than my first mining trip, and then I encountered something I had never seen before. What the Jesus? What is that? Whoa, whoa. Wow, that scared me. Oh my god. Oh my god. What was that? No! Die! Ow, thorns. Okay, I killed it. Okay. How is it the first time I've seen anything like this? What was that? Alright, spiky rolling creatures. Somehow the only time I've seen that one, despite being in the caves for hours before. Not nearly as scary as the centipedes, though. Or so I thought. There's a bunch of them. There's so... Whoa! Oh my god, there's so... Why? Oh my god. Run. Oh my god, run. Chill. Out. Chill. I'm X-raying. Oh my god, chill. Why? So what? Spiders can't spawn in andesite caves? So it's just full of those things? Where, like what? There's dinosaurs. They're dinosaurs. That's what they are. Jeez. Okay, I'll go this way to get home. Okay, after escaping that, I made my way through the forests and fields to get back home. I stored all the stuff that I got and began to smelt the lead ore when something I had been fearing this entire time finally happened. Are we doing this right now? Yeah? That is a tornado. Yo, you're not doing your job. I don't know what happens now. Oh, it's going the other way. Is that why you're not doing your job? Is it going the other way? I can't tell. Yo, tornado siren, what's your deal, dude? I probably shouldn't be outside during a tornado. I will say that the rest of the storm does feel like it's getting closer. Is that a separate spinning cloud? I'm crazy, I think. I think it's fine. It's definitely not coming this way. Yo, this thing's useless. Why? Weather siren. Okay, I'm gonna go downstairs and make something else. Hold on. Tornado sensor. Is it coming? No, okay. I can see where it's like centered. Yo, do something. Okay, the way it works is it emits a redstone signal if there's a tornado present. You're useless. I'm better at your job than you are. Stupid. What? There is definitely a separate spinning cloud right there. Ugh. I think I'm okay. I kind of want to see how much damage it did, though. Is this a dumb idea? I'm curious. I want to know. Is it spinning faster? I'm going to go over to it. Just a little bit closer. I just want to see. Dude, it's destroying everything. That deer is gonna get killed. Look at the blocks spinning. I don't want to get any closer. I have no idea the pull this thing has. Look at the snow is spiraling around it. It is coming my way. The trees I'm looking at are disappearing. Oh no 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 no. Is that where it's centered now? Okay, no, it's going that way. I need to get inside. I need to get inside. I need to get inside. The storm is picking up very. Oh, what is this? A second tornado? No, surely not. I saw like I swear I just saw snow spiraling like right next to me. I swear I did. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe the particles just look kind of funny. This could be a absolute disaster if it decides to turn my way. No. No, 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 no. Please no, please no, please no. No. Well, you're doing your job now. Oh no. I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Dude, I was making a gun, man. It's coming over top my base. I can just see it. The fact that these moving blocks are loading in, it's coming this way, I think. Come on. This could near miss. It could just like go back into the sky right before it hits me. Come on. It pulled me. Oh, get me out. It pulled me out the door. It pulled me out. I swear to you, I promise you, it wasn't me doing that. It pulled me out the door. It's here. It's here. It's so over. I want to see it, but I don't want to die. You know, it's like a mix of. It's like a mixed thing. I can't tell. Do I want to watch it more than I want to live? Probably not. Yeah, here it is. Okay, get down, get down, get down. I just need to hope my bunker is deep enough. I have no idea. I think so. It's like 10 blocks deep. I can't tell where it is. My wall is still in perfect shape. Is it missing? It's going that way. It's going that way. I think it's like curving around. How? What? There's no way I'm that lucky. There's no way it misses me entirely. It's over there. It's over there. Yeah, I can see like the center of it, kind of. I think I dodged it. I think it missed me. I'm stupid. I didn't mean to walk outside. I'm stupid. I wasn't thinking. Get inside. Okay. It pulled me. Okay. I'm stupid. I'm an idiot. I'm okay. Whew. Okay, but you've done your job. I'll be real. Shut up. Shut up. It's so loud. The storm has just okay. It literally came straight at me this way and then curved right before my base. You would think I like scripted it. I don't think you can do that. I don't think it's possible. That's crazy. I am scared to see the damage that it did. Maybe it got rid of those bears. There's some bears over there. I'm afraid to get near them. I could probably just kill them. But maybe the storm took them with it. I wonder if the wall affects how the storm like chooses its path at all. Like, did the storm avoid the wall on purpose, or like does the mod have like code in place for that? I have no idea. No, this is crazy. I need to make sure it's not coming back before I fully investigate. But like, what? Nah. Look at this. It did not get rid of the bear family. I'll just leave them. They're kind of chill. So when I was like over here investigating to see where it was, you know, how it was, the tornado was over here. Where did it even touch down? Oh, it touched down so far away. I have no idea. So yeah, I saw it outside, and it's like over there. It goes down this pathway. And then like around here is when my sirens start going off finally. And they're like, oh wow, this is actually a really big problem. Maybe we should deal with that. Cut straight through all these trees. And my base is literally right here. And like, look at this. I am so close to this thing. Okay, I'm not as close as I thought, but I'm like this is like 15 blocks. I couldn't be luckier. If I chose to put my base like literally right here, full thing gone, torn through. Though I can definitely tell you right now that my bunker would be safe. I think this didn't even touch the stone layer at all. Yeah, it didn't even fully tear down all the trees. This was like not that strong of a tornado, but it was just like pretty wide. That was crazy. Talk about a close call, narrowly avoiding the complete destruction of my walls and house. Not that there was much there at this point, but the last thing I wanted to do was rebuild it all. With that disaster in the past, I continued working on lead. I also went ahead and added a diamond to all my other tools because I had plenty at this point. Okay, now that I had lead, I needed gunpowder. I could make it with coal and salt. And because I didn't find salt ore, to get salt, I would need to evaporate water in a cauldron. I started melting down iron to make those cauldrons with when I accidentally alloyed iron and lead together to get pewter. It wasn't even a good material. It was honestly really bad and a complete waste of my lead and iron. But anyways, I made 3 cauldrons and I put them outside with some magma. After a bit of time in this cauldron, water evaporates and gives me salt, which was not the fastest thing ever, but it works. I spent a bit just evaporating water for salt, and now I could make gunpowder. Day 80, I put the deployer back outside and I began working on ammo. First, I had to put paper on the shells, then gunpowder, and finally lead nuggets to create shotgun rounds. And now all that was left was to try it out. Okay, what can I test it on? I want like a deer or something. A bear! Perfect target, hello! Die. Oh, 2-shot! Yes, I was hoping for a 1-shot, but maybe not all the pellets landed, I don't really know. Wow, that is expensive ammo. It wouldn't be if salt wasn't so annoying. That's so fun though. There's also attachments. I can make the barrel longer, but this is low-key annoying because I hate making these sheets. Okay, I'm gonna go work on some more ammo and maybe a second gun. A very strong close-range weapon added to my arsenal, and now I wanted to add a long-ranged one. The process was entirely the same, so I'm not gonna go over it a second time. But yeah, I did everything again. I crushed obsidian, I made the sturdy sheets and all that, and then I used the mechanical crafters to make a revolver. And as I was making it, a very spinny snowstorm began, and I panicked and ran inside. It did not end up being a tornado, at first anyways. I think we're okay. No, it was spinning so, like, condensed, I swear. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Dude, no. I don't want to build it again. I don't want to take it down and put it back together again. Don't. Oh my god. Wow, please do not be a meteor shower. There's just so many things I can handle at once. Please don't do this to me. That was so close. Oh yeah, that makes sense, dude. Sideways serpentine. What is it doing? What is it doing? You know what? Like, grow up, dude. Like, genuinely, where is that? What is this? Why is it doing that? I'm so concerned. Wow, the sky is beautiful during the winter. I never even noticed. Okay, the tornado is either coming directly from my base or it is going back into the sky. Very short-lived tornado. It's gone. Okay, it disappeared. Okay, it was literally like 4 seconds, dude. Wow, this 100 days is going to stress me out. 2 near misses in a row. With those out of the way, I began working on the attachments for these guns. I did end up making the long barrel for the shotgun, which would reduce the spread and give a slightly longer range. I made a long barrel for the revolver too, and then a stock, and now I wanted to make a scope. It needed black dye, which I learned that I could make by crushing charcoal. I did that, made a spyglass, and crafted my scope. I put that on my revolver, and now this thing was basically like a hunting rifle. It was pretty cool. Revolver ammo was a lot cheaper than shotgun. It was the same process, but it made 8 bullets instead of 1. I went ahead and made half a stack, and then I went to try it out. Okay, I'm testing it on that little ant that I see. These things always scare me because they make like walking noises, and then there's an ant. I'm afraid of them. Check it out. Boom! I missed. Oh wait, it didn't work. I thought I missed I missed my mouse button, but like it's not firing. Do I have to hold it? I have to hold it. Oh, I see. I thought it was gonna make a more satisfying sound. I guess it is a revolver and not a actual full-on rifle. Okay, it's not the best fire rate. Okay. I like it though. I like it. It's a nice long, like infinite range hit scan weapon. It's weird that to hold the click, it takes like a second to actually fire the gun. I can't really show that in the video easily, but like I can feel it when I click my mouse. It like doesn't fire immediately. It like takes a second. I don't know. It's cool though. This is good. This is good. This will help a lot with hunting the cryptid thingies, I think. Nah, that guy's sleeping. I'll leave him be. Oh, I like it. Okay, I need to just make a lot more ammo, and then I think all I have left to do is hunt things down. Let's go. Not quite as satisfying of a shot as I expected, but it did exactly what I needed it to. I spent the next day just making ammo, literally as much as I could. I even made a second deployer to make it faster. In the end, I had over a stack of revolver ammo and 46 shotgun shots, which felt like enough. Day 84, a full-on blizzard was going on outside. Not really a threat to my life or anything because of the heat upgrades on my armor. Gotta say though, I really wish the snowstorm would have put more snow on the ground. It would have felt a lot more like winter if that was the case. Anyways, I now wanted to prepare good food. Something that would give me a ton of saturation to aid me in these hunts. I looked through the options and I landed on fried rice. For that, I needed oil, which I could get by cooking cotton and pumpkin seeds. I made a bunch of that and then I cooked my fried rice. While that was going, I needed to actually figure out how to find the other cryptids because at this point I had only seen the Yeti. I searched the mod and saw that I could make something called the Ultimate Bestiary, which I did. This book gave me information on every cryptid out there, including the spawn biome. I looked through them and I was thinking of which ones I wanted to hunt down, and then I saw that there were rarer, stronger subspecies that spawned in different biomes. So now my goal had evolved. Not only did I want to claim the trophies of more regular cryptids, but I wanted to hunt down and claim the trophy of some of the enhanced subspecies too. There was also something called the Beast Pit, which would work as bait and let me lure these cryptids out of hiding. That sounded pretty important to hunt these things, so I made it. Once my fried rice was done, I looked through the bestiary again to study up. I learned that the reason that I only saw the Yeti before this point was that the other cryptids only spawned in vanilla biomes. I memorized all the biomes that they spawned in and the special abilities that they have. And on day 85, I headed to track these things down. Around the mountain that I hunted the Yetis at, I found a vanilla forest biome. This was home to the Tree Ent, a living tree that could destroy leaves to chase down its target. Now that I had found a biome, I simply waited for nighttime and the hunt was on. I wandered around the forest looking for any signs of the Ent. Admittedly, it was not a very large forest, so there was not a ton of space for it to spawn. After a while, the only thing I saw was a howler, which my guns were able to deal with quite easily, by the way. But yeah, no sign of the Ent, so I went with plan B. I placed the Beast Pit, I ignited it, and I waited. This was how I could lure out one of the cryptids for the area that I was in. Unfortunately though, it failed. The sun rose on day 86, the Beast Pit went out, and there was no Tree Ent in sight. Turns out it is not a 100% chance to actually lure out the monster. The pit could be reused though, I would just need to wait until nighttime to do it. I didn't want to waste the day, so I took the chance to scout around and look for other biomes that were home to cryptids. I didn't find any, but I got a better idea as to which direction to head next. Back in the forest that night, I placed the Beast Pit and lit it. At first, the flame just went out again, so I just lit it again and waited, and I didn't have to wait long. There! Oh, okay, it's already aggroed. Wow, okay, wow, it pre-aggroed me. Die. Okay, here we go. I missed. Headshot. Weaken. Oh my god, it's fast. Holy. Shotgun. Huge. Stay off me. It do be breaking the leaves. Oh, I got it. Wow, these guns are awesome. Trophy first try. Ominous. Onodrim. What does that mean? Yo. Okay, that was actually so exciting. Where's my Beast Pit? I want it back. The shotgun does damage, 25. The revolver does 12. I didn't even know I could see the stats on it. I did not know I could see how much damage it does at all. How much does my bow do? I have no way of knowing. Oh, my projectile damage goes up because of one of my materials. Okay, that's one down. That wasn't even bad. That was so fun. I like lured it out with the pit and then I like hunted it. Oh, that was cool. That is one trophy obtained. And for the next one, I think I need to prepare a little bit more. My second cryptid trophy claimed. But yeah, I had to do a little bit more prep, so I headed home and put the trophy in its place. I made something called a mincer, which allowed me to get more bone meal from bones. After growing more sun ferns, I used blaze rods and diamonds to make the higher tier of warming coat, which I could only afford one of right now. The next thing I wanted to hunt down was the frozen gator. It was technically the stronger variant of the vile gator that spawned in swamps, but there were no swamps around. There were ice biomes though, but to explore those in the winter, I would need more cold resistance. I spent the rest of the day and night scavenging bones, crushing them down, and growing ferns. By day 88, I had enough for 2 more of the higher tier coats. So I spent most of that day as well, doing more scavenging and crafting until I got my last one. Now, I was prepared as I could be to traverse the cold biomes, and I headed out. Day 89, I made it to the snowy biomes, and I learned that this cold resistance was not enough. Even holding lava, I was freezing cold. And that was during the day. At night, it would be even colder. I decided to press on though, because this was a hunt that I really wanted to complete. I came across the world's smallest ice spikes biome, which was not an ideal place to hunt, but it would work if I needed it to. But luckily, in the distance, I spotted another ice spikes, and this one was much larger. Right when I got up to it though, a thunderstorm started at the worst possible time. Oh, wow, that's good actually. Come on, do it. Throw a tornado at me right now. See if I care. I don't. I do. I'm soaking wet. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna die. I can't do anything about this. I can't do anything about this. Oh my god. I'm dead. I need to eat this onion soup. I'm dead. Stop. Okay, I'm warming up, okay. I can't stop this. There's nothing I can do. Just keep moving around. I'm gonna die. Dude, the cold thing is going crazy even though it's getting warmer. Why? Okay. Wow, that was terrible. Okay, so yeah, close call. I think the longer I'm freezing to death, the more damage I take from it, so that could have been really bad. Regardless, I found my ice spikes home to the frozen gator. This thing was my favorite design in the whole book for sure. It looked really cool. And once the sun set, it was time to hunt it. All right, it's fully nighttime. I just need the frozen gator to spawn. I can also use the beast pit, but hopefully I don't have to. It takes time. Come on, frozen gator. You're right by the side of the ocean. Gators can swim, so that means... Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. I do not expect this to be very hard because I have ranged weapons and a sprint button. Here we go. Fire. Oh, you're so slow. Oh, I don't even need to slow you down. That's embarrassing. Okay, but stay far away from it. It has an ability to throw me in the air and poison me. Shotgun. I also gotta get close for the shotgun though, which is like my best damage. Shotgun. Did you give up? Are you passive? Wait, are you chill? Wait, he's chill. No, he's not. Why? No, why? What was that? The bait and switch. Why? He like fully lied to me. Like he walked up and he was so chill. Oh, I got it. Okay, yeah, no, die. What was that for? Trophy. Yippee. Look at this. What is this thing? What is this? Is this what an alligator's skull looks like? No, like, what is this? Oh, it's this thingy. It's the like, he has like these tanks on his side. He's like ice tanks on him. It's one of those. I see. I get it, icy? Okay, I'm gonna go back home. Actually, I'm gonna sleep because I will freeze to death if I don't. And then I go back home. The frozen gator hunt was a success. I spent basically all day 90 making the journey back home, and then I hung up the trophy. Day 91, I was preparing to head out for my next hunt when my second meteor shower began. Oh no. Oh no. Where are they? I watched the other one disappear midair too. Huh. I thought it was gonna be like a full-on meteor shower. That was gonna be really bad. Oh, that's really bad. That's really bad. Oh, this is the worst time. This is so not good, actually. Why would there be a meteor shower? Is that gonna hit my base? No. I think. We're good. Like, what is happening? Like, bro. Okay, some of them are fizzling out. Some of the, like, that's how it works in real life too, right? They kind of fizzle out sometimes. They disintegrate in the atmosphere. Oh, this is a disaster. Literally. That's gonna hit me, my base. Oh my god! Ow! Oh my god! I didn't think it was gonna hurt me. Oh my god! I genuinely just didn't think it was gonna hit me. I thought it was gonna hit like outside. Oh my god! Oh, that actually real. Oh my god! I think it's ended. This is legitimately like where I was standing. It's a piece of stone. Couldn't it even be like a cool space roll? It dodged my cooking pot though. Shout outs to you. Wow, that really scared me. I was in here and took like 3 hearts from that? I thought it was gonna be like a massive meteor that just like destroyed everything. That wasn't even that bad, man. Wow, that was scary. There were so many coming from the sky at once. My yard probably looks like Swiss cheese right now. No, actually it's pretty okay. Oh, don't. That's my base. Oh, there's more. Okay, it's going, okay, wave 2. You know, that one did not hit my base. Okay, I saw a really large one and I kind of want to investigate. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna greed for it. Oh, it's unsafe. I swear I saw like a pretty large one. Oh, jeez. Yeah! Needed a blizzard right now. Good. No, not while I'm at my base. Please stop. They changed direction mid-air and it really... Just please don't hit my house. This house is so well done. It took me so long to make it. It's so beautiful. I wonder if it has like a lower chance to land directly on me. Like I'm sure the way it works is like in a radius around me, right? So I wonder if I stand right here, if it is less likely to hit my house. That one looks scary. We're good. It's over there. Okay, didn't curve. Okay, I think it's finally over. I think we're good. Look how deep this one went. That'll give me an emerald. That's cool. That is not good. What is that? None of the other meteors look like that. Is that just how the big ones look? I guess it's just how the big ones look. Bro, this is just Deep Slate. I don't care about Deep Slate. Okay, now it's over. That was the grand finale, I guess. With the meteor shower over and my house safe, I slept. I was running lower on food than I would have liked, so I spent half the day cooking vegetable soup. And once it was done, I headed west. There were multiple cryptids that could be found in arid biomes like savannas and deserts, and I wanted to hunt those down with the time that I had left. It took until the next day, but in the distance I did spot a desert. I honestly wasn't sure if I'd be able to find one at all, so I was pretty glad that it happened so quickly. I headed towards it, made my way through a forest, and ended up in a savanna. The savanna was home to the Arid Yeti, the stronger variant of the monster that shattered my bones in one hit the last time that I fought it. This was a hunt that I absolutely had to do. I waited for the sun to go down, and it didn't take long to spot an Arid Yeti. There it is. Okay, one has already spawned. I hope there's not one behind me. I got jumped by them in the ice area, and that's why I broke my bones. Okay, Arid Yeti, the strongest version of the Yeti out of the two. I'm a little nervous. I think it should be fine though. The only thing I have to remember is that when it gets half HP, I assume it's half HP anyways, I'm kind of just guessing. When it gets half HP, it starts shooting balls at me. Like this one shoots mud balls, the other one shot snowball. It despawned. Now why would it do that? Okay, that's not cool. You know what is cool though? I can see the ice mountain from here. There's a Badlands right there and an ice mountain right there, and I can see both of them. Isn't Distant Horizons awesome? Yeah, there, Yeti, okay. All right, I just gotta begin the hunt, or it'll despawn again. Begin. Boom. Boom. Can you not see me? Are you stupid? Oh, he was stupid. Bang. Bang. Does he have a headshot hitbox? Is that a thing? I have no idea. Slow down. Die. 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 I don't want to waste all my shotgun ammo, because I have other hunts to do. 2 shots in the head. The ball. He missed. Idiot. Idiot. You missed, you fool. He tried to lead his shot, and he missed, because he's a moron. Let's go. Bang. Bang. Okay, no more shotgun ammo. I want to save it. Arrow. Oh, got him with the arrow. Let's go. And there is the Arid Yeti trophy. Let's go. Oh, that was so easy and free because I'm so good at the game and there was only one of them and not like 40 of them. I guess the rare versions just drop everything. That's good to know. Okay, another trophy. I'll put that in my backpack along with the other spoils of war. And I think I'm heading straight for the desert. Another successful hunt down, I did in fact head for the desert. The desert was home to 2 cryptids, one of which I found almost immediately. There, crab! Oh, it's so cold here. Okay, there's a crab here. This is one of them. One of the cryptids. This is the Golden Hermit. I don't have a crosshair. He took my crosshair away. Okay, wait. Oh, he's not golden anymore. Oh no, these are his like summons, his minions. Die, get out of your little shell, brother. What do I do about the pickaxe? No? Okay. This guy's quirky. He's back. Gunshot, sword. That did damage, okay. Got him. Okay, that wasn't even that bad. Dude, sword is so strong. It's so much DPS. I mean, obviously it's Minecraft. Of course the sword is good. That's not what I was expecting to find. Ooh, helmet. Wait, this is drippy. Oh, I'm so fast on the sand. Is it good armor? 2 armor, 2 toughness? Or no, wait, 1 toughness. No, my helmet is so much better. Okay, that guy did break my bones because I wanted the sword fight. That was not my wisest move. Another one down. That wasn't bad. This is the Golden Hermit King. There's a normal one somewhere, but I don't care about him. The golden one is cooler anyways. All right, reload my guns. And the desert should have 1 more. With the Golden Hermit King defeated, the next target in the desert was the mummy. Unfortunately, there wasn't much time left that night, but on night 94, it was time for the hunt. There it is, mummy. Okay, cool. Here we are. Also, I'm just gonna say it right now, there's a village right there. I know there's a village right there. It's not supposed to be there, okay? Villages were not supposed to generate. They made it through. I don't really know how, but I'm not using villages for this 100 days because they're overpowered. Also, I would have no use for one at this point anyways. But yeah, there is a village there. But yeah. Anyways, mummy hunt. Hello. Hello, creature. So according to my research, the book here says the mummy will use a powerful amulet to change attacks. So I assume it has a... Oh, there it is. Okay, it's aggroed. I assume it changes its moveset at half HP. Right now, it looks like a husk or a zombie. Dude, he's getting smoked. He even sounds like a zombie. Come on, use your powerful amulet, buddy. Am I fighting a glorified zombie? Oh, he's purple now. What does that mean for you? You had like little hearts, like you were breeding. He's green now. Okay, I see you. But you were getting domed right now. I need to save my ammo. Bro, that was free. I guess you're just a zombie. Trophy, yay. I got it first try. I don't have to fight another one. Nice, okay. There's actually only one hunt that I still want to do. And I think I'm gonna go figure out how to actually do it because it's a little bit different. The mummy was slain, and yeah, the final target was slightly different. Day 95, I journeyed into the Badlands biome. The last beast that I wanted to hunt down was the Phoenix, but from what I knew of this mod already, it didn't spawn like the others. Instead, I had to locate its nest, which generated somewhere in this biome. After climbing to the top to get a good vantage point, it was not too hard to spot the nest. Is that it? Nest right there? Or there's a bush? Is that it? Is that it? That might be it. I saw leaves. If I was a bird, I would make a nest out of leaves, I think. And also there's just no leaves anywhere else. Yeah, that's a nest. Okay, cool. And I gotta do it right now because the winter's about to end, and if I have to do this in the spring, I think I'll die. It would be way too hot. Okay, this is a Phoenix egg. This is the final hunt that I want to do. After this, I'm satisfied with what I've accomplished from literally nothing. Like, this has been a crazy 100 days. The Phoenix will revive one time when it is first killed. I also do not think it has a trophy because it's not in here. I mean, it might be called something else, but I think my goal is to get this feather, maybe? Or maybe it gives me the egg, actually. That might be a thing. Okay, I'm gonna find out. Blocks at the ready. Ammo is looking tough, but it's okay. I have water, I have food, I have bandages, I have everything I need. Everything is loaded. Here we go. Go. There it is, Phoenix. Oh, it's stuck. Oh, I missed. It shoots explosives. That's really bad for hardcore. That's really bad for hardcore. Explosives do like 1,000,000 damage in hardcore, no matter what. I am almost certain I will die if it hits me. You're whiffing though. I wouldn't do that personally. My bad. Oh, it didn't do that much damage. I think I'm okay. It barely hit me though. He's like a turret. I expected a little bit more of like an attack. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, I cannot get hit again. Oh my god. Stay longer range so I can dodge. Okay, it's a baby now. It died once, it's a baby now, I think. That was a cool animation. I'm on fire, I'm on fire, I'm on fire. Stop. Okay, I'm gonna keep distance. That sucks really bad. Why does it shoot explosives, man? Arrow. Oh, I got it. Oh, I killed it. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. That really scared me. I'm not gonna lie. And there it is, the egg. Okay. The egg is my trophy. I don't want the feather. I honestly don't want to risk my life again. That was really bad. Wow, that was bad. But I got a Phoenix egg and the music disc. One hit half health me. Do you understand how good this armor is, by the way? This armor is absurd. It is so strong. This is better than netherite, right? Yeah, this is stronger than netherite, and it still did half my health in one hit. That is crazy. I won though. I won. Okay, that's the hunt that I was like most excited for. That one and the frozen crocodile. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna go home. Let's go. The final hunt was done. There wasn't enough time left to track down any others, but I was more than satisfied with what I had accomplished. I made the trek back home on day 96 and started setting up my new trophies. Oh my god. That's really bad. Okay. I got this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I have a good angle. It's not able to shoot me. What a disaster that could have been. Oh my god. What? Okay, it's dead. I got the feather. You know what? I'll take it. That was interesting. Okay. Got it. Okay. Now why would it do that? Why is that how that works? Okay, I thought this would be like more of a display pedestal. I'm gonna go figure out what I'm doing with this now. What? Alright, with that disaster narrowly avoided, I just put the Phoenix Feather and Egg front and center. The wall of trophies showing the cryptid slain representing my accomplishments was finished. Day 97, the world refreshed. Winter was over, the little bit of snow began to melt, and I had survived one full year. I won, I succeeded, but there was one more thing I wanted to do. For the longest time, I lived in my little storm bunker, but not once did I get to actually test it. I also never got to see a max strength tornado, and you can maybe see where I'm going with this. I went and changed the config to make a level 5 tornado a 100% chance whenever a storm happened. And then I waited, and waited, and on day 99, the storm rolled in. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's happening. Okay, it's happening. Oh, wow, that is a really large spiraling cloud, huh? Now, many people would not say this, but I do hope that tornado hits my house. I'm not gonna lie. I want to know if my bunker tanks it. I want to know. My siren is not going off, so it's not a tornado yet, but it should be guaranteed. It's right above me. If it touches down right here, straight through my base, guaranteed. There's a rainbow. I think it passed me completely. The sky is turning blue again with a rainbow and stuff. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Okay, tornado. It's touching down. I've never seen one touch down before. I kind of want to see it. Is this safe? I don't think so. I've never seen the moment one hits the ground. Oh, and it's behind the trees, so I'm still not going to see it. Okay. It's so far away. Look at that. That's a F5 tornado is what the config called it. F5. I'm going to sleep. I want sunlight. I want to be able to see. All right, day 100. Oh, it's growing in size so much. It's not getting closer. My siren would be going off, but it is eating the leaves on this tree right here. I can see it. Oh, okay. So it is getting closer. That's a good thing because I want to try out my bunker. Okay. Wow, that is a monster. Look at all the blocks. Is it coming straight this way? Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah. All right, siren, shut up. You're loud. Okay, here it comes. I'm nervous. Look at this storm. The config called this a full-blown hurricane. I think hurricanes are a little bit larger, but I mean, you know, it has the idea. Is it gonna miss my base and go around it? That's what happened before. I am getting pulled even though I'm inside. If I close the door, I still get pulled. The fish! I hear the fish! It's pulling the fish out of the water. I think it's coming straight through. I can't tell. I don't want to die. I want to avoid dying. Blocks are flying everywhere. Oh my god. If I see a single block from my wall get taken, I am going underground. My wall is intact so far. Can my little wooden wall... What? Glass break? Where? Oh, my greenhouse. Oh, it's okay. It's here. It's here. Okay, it's happening. Get under. My greenhouse is being shattered. No, you know, I kind of like the greenhouse. I should have maybe... Nah, it's fine. What's it gonna do? Bury it? Cover it in obsidian to reinforce it? No. No, the planks. The planks from my base. No, the door. All right, it's there. Will my bunker survive? My lantern's gone. I just saw my lantern vanish. Oh, it's actually right there. It's not gone. It's right there. I can get it back. This was my worst nightmare. The whole 100 days, I was afraid of this happening. And now we get to see if my fears were warranted. So I think my bunker's gonna hold up. The stairs are just fine. The walls are fine. My poor house. I know this is my fault, but it's still kind of sad. The blocks are just flying everywhere. My house is in that tornado right now. Wait, okay, it is getting a little bit lower down than I expected. Oh, it's directly, okay, it's like it is fully touching down right here. Okay, yeah, it's pulling blocks from lower down. Max strength, by the way. Max strength, and it's not even hitting my stone bricks. My stone bricks are so secure, so sturdy. Okay, I think the worst of it is over. I think it passed. I think the bunker is just fine. Stone is just so sturdy. Everything in here was like totally fine. My trophies are all safe. My phoenix egg is safe. I will never break this. It's a bad idea. My lantern. Is it safe to go out and see the damage right now? Okay, a small part of me wants to ride the tornado. Is that stupid? That thunder is telling me yes. But I have to know. I have to know. Oh, it's okay. Oh my god, I'm good. Oh, my base, my door. But the wall is fine. The wall is like totally fine, except for the fences on top. My create mod stuff is fine too. Wow, no, my house is fully gone. It's fully back to stone, and there's a little bit of blocks in the sky. My greenhouse is gone. There is one potato plant. I'm gone. I'm gone. I can't stop this. I can try to resist it, but do I want to? Do I want to ride the tornado? I have to know. I have to do it. Take me away. It's day 100. I made it. I survived. Take me away. I want to know. I'm stuck, actually. Come on. Let's do it. Tornado, take me away. It's going. I'm gone. I'm flying. Look at my base. It's destroyed. It's my own fault. I edited the config. I can see everything. Wait, this is wonderful. Oh, I'm dead. Wait, water. I'm alive. Let's go. And I'm gone again. I have no control over where I'm going. I'm going with nature. I'm going where the winds take me, quite literally. I'm dead. I'm dead. I can water bucket clutch. My water's gone. I have another one. Bear! No! I got you, bear. Wait, can I have myself with an arrow? No, the arrows are not being carried. Oh, they should be. I'm dead. I'm a god. I don't even know if I hit that or I just didn't take fall damage, but I'm alive. I'm gone again. Okay. I can see everything. Look, the Badlands is over there. This is the mountain that I hunted the Yeti right over there. I lived right there. And I died right here, I think. Yep, okay, that's good. There it goes. Look at the rainbow. The rainbow and tornado on day 100. Cinema. I think that's an appropriate end. That's full. I love the tornado. Look at that thing. What a beast. My base. No, my base got fully ravaged. This was like as destructive as it could have been. But all of my create mod stuff is just totally fine. It survived. Okay, that may have been really stupid and I may have died, but it was kind of awesome, right? The whole 100 days was awesome. The weather, the seasons, the tools, and the different materials and stuff. Very different from how I usually play Minecraft, but it was a really fun journey. And of course, this is where that journey comes to an end.